Chapter 801. I don't know. Xia Huang and Yunnan are in the company. The situation is very chaotic now, so I want to ask Xiao Chen, what's your plan? Xiao Hai said. Second uncle, what did you decide before? Before you ask me, you should have already decided on how to deal with it, right? Xiao Chen hesitated and asked. As long as he didn't come to pursue Xiao Zhao's matter, it was fine. Or second uncle didn't have the mind to think about Xiao Zhao's matter at all. When he came back to his senses, maybe he would come to settle the score. But in any case, there was no problem for the time being. Previously, I have also communicated with Yunnan and Xie Huang. There are two plans. Xiao Hai said, since the Tsin family has come to our door, we can't sit back and do nothing. It is impossible to deal with the changes by remaining unchanged. So the first plan is that we shed all pretense of cordiality with the Tsin family. We tell the media downstairs that the Tsin family of real martial arts has a problem and is delusional. We don't want to sell the hotel and the place, but this is undoubtedly equivalent to shedding all pretense of cordiality with the Tsin family of real martial arts. At that time, the two parties will definitely fight to the death. But does the Xiao family have the courage to go against the Tsin family of real martial arts? Although Xiao Chen did fight a few disciples of the Qishan sect before, it was also because the Qishan sect could not appear in the secular world on a large scale, and there was also the mediation of the Wulin Guild. The Tsin family of real martial arts did not have so many scruples. Moreover, it was said that the Tsin family of real martial arts had the Tsin family as a backer in the Wulin Guild, so they must be careful. Why not? What is the second plan? Xiao Chen asked disdainfully after listening. The second plan is that we reach a settlement with the Tsin family and announce that the acquisition failed. Maybe the Xiao family will pay some price, but it will not affect their reputation. Xiao Hai said. Of course, they could still ignore it, but it seemed like the Tsin family wouldn't let it go so easily. So, there wasn't much difference between ignoring it and shedding all pretense of cordiality. In that case, the Xiao family might as well be more unyielding. Oh. In that case, tell Tsin Jiajin to get lost. Acquisition? Let him go to the waste collection station. It's not suitable for him here. In Xiao Chen's opinion, the first plan was the best. Since the Tsin family didn't want to do it, Xiao Chen wouldn't want to die. Originally, Xiao Chen thought that the Tsin family's so-called acquisition was just a business tactic, so he didn't interfere and let Emperor Xia and the others handle it. However, he didn't expect that this guy would dare to come knocking on his door. Did he really want to die? This. Xiao Hai was stunned. Xiao Chen, you mean that we should adopt the first plan and deal with them forcefully? Xiao Chen, you go. T Marshal, Teat, shout V Yang Ts right S shout have the shout Teat. Xiao Hai will it. He said he wants to acquire it. I think he's daydreaming. He should go home and masturbate. When Xiao Chen said this, he couldn't help but think of Tian Soran. Although Tian Suruan was a bit of a gold digger, Xiao Chen could tell that this girl was not really a gold digger after interacting with her for a period of time. She just lacked a sense of security. It probably had something to do with her family. Since she did not say anything, Xiao Chen did not ask. However, he missed her a little after not seeing her for a while. That's fine. Since that's the case, I'll reply to him now. Since Xiao Chen had already made his decision, Xiao Hai would do as he was told. In any case, in his opinion, it was all thanks to Xiao Chen that the Xiao clan could reach where it was today. Otherwise, the Xiao clan would have been finished long ago. He was hesitant before, but now with Xiao Chen's decision, Xiao Hai wasn't worried anymore. He drove directly to the company and didn't even look at Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao, who was standing on the side, was stunned. Brother, was I invisible just now? I don't know, but second uncle may have been too worried about the company and didn't see you. Xiao Chen smiled bitterly. It's okay. If my dad saw me sleeping with you, he would beat me to death. Xiao stuck out her tongue and patted her chest with a sigh of relief. It's better to beat me to death, okay? Xiao Chen continued to smile bitterly. I can't. He didn't see me. Xiao yawned. Brother, I'm going back to sleep. Who knows if he will remember it afterward. Xiao Chen didn't sleep. He was ready to put on his clothes and go to the Xiao family's company. In his opinion, the Cin family wouldn't give up so easily. This could be seen from Cin Wuming's character. Xiao Hai rushed to the Xiao family's company and saw that there were already several people sitting in the conference room. The person sitting in the main seat wasn't Xie Huang or Yunnan, but Cin Jiajin. Sitting next to Cin Jiajin was Cin Wuming. He had come to broaden his horizons, but there was also a delinquent girl sitting next to him. This delinquent girl had served him well, so Cin Wuming brought her along wherever he went. This delinquent girl was lucky. It was a blessing in disguise. She directly became Cin Wuming's woman. On the other side of Cin Jiajin, there were two assistants, Little Wang and Little Lu. Recently, they had been helping with planning and practical operations. These two people could be said to be the heroes in dealing with the Xiao family's war. Cin Jiajin came today to acquire the company, so he didn't stand on ceremony. He directly chose the main seat, and then arrogantly crossed his legs, waiting for the arrival of the company's manager. President Cin, I don't know where you heard the news that our company is going to be sold. Yunnan looked at Cin Jiajin with a puzzled expression, but he didn't dare to directly fall out with him. He could only ask carefully. You can't even continue your business now. It won't do you any good if you drag this on. We are buying you out because we think highly of you. Why are you still unwilling? Cin Jiajin didn't speak, but his assistant Little Wang said. How we operate is our own business. Moreover, it can't be said that our business is bleak, right? Xie Huang also said. You know very well how you operate. Assistant Little Lu directly interrupted. Alright, don't talk nonsense with them. Both of you are just business partners of the Xiao family. Ask the Xiao family's manager to come. I will talk to him. I don't have time to talk nonsense with you. Cin Jiajin waved his hand and said impatiently, Where's Xiao Hai? Why isn't he here yet? However, as soon as he said this, the conference room door was pushed open. I'm here, President Cien. At this moment, Xiao Hai walked into the conference room. However, with Xiao Chen's previous decision, his words were very firm. But I'm sorry, we don't have to talk anymore. Please leave. You are not welcome here. What? Cin Jiajin's eyes widened in disbelief. You want me to leave? From Cin Jiajin's point of view, whether it was the Xiao family's hotel or the mall, the business situation could be said to be very miserable. He came to buy them out to save the Xiao family. Why was Xiao Hai not willing? If this dragged on, not only would the Xiao family be dragged down, even the Xie family and the Yu family's business partners would be ruined. That's right, Mr. Cien. You can leave now. Xiao Hai said coldly. I don't know what kind of show you are playing. You came to our Xiao family's company in such a hurry and want to buy it out. I don't know if you listened to the rumors, or if you are delusional. What did you say? Cin Jiajin was furious. Your Xiao family doesn't want to continue living? Seeing Xiao Hai enter, Cin Wuming immediately straightened his posture and prepared to act tough. From his point of view, maybe Xiao Chen would also come. However, he didn't expect that only Xiao Hai came, and he even said a few strange words. Nothing much. Of course our Xiao family wants to continue living. Xiao Hai said indifferently. That's right. Then talk about the acquisition calmly. Hearing Xiao Hai's words, Cin Jiajin thought that he was going to give in, so he asked arrogantly. Oh, talk calmly. That means you can leave now. Please, I won't send you off. Xiao Hai made a gesture to send them off and said faintly and politely. Xiao Hai, what kind of attitude is this? Do you still not understand the situation? We are here to buy your money-losing businesses, to save you. Otherwise, with your current state of business, you will die. Sun Wuming slammed the table and said angrily. You don't have to worry about this. However, if you don't leave, I will call the security and the media downstairs to let them see the mental patients of the Sun family. Xiao Hai was also unhappy. Why is this Sun Jiajin so stubborn? What's wrong with not understanding? Can't he see that my attitude is that of a falling out? And he's still so tactless, forcing me to make things difficult for him? You're courting death. Sun Jiajin's expression changed. When had he ever been humiliated like this? Subconsciously, his aura surged and he punched Xiao Hai in front of him. Xiao Hai was only a martial artist at the peak of Stage 8 inner force, and this was the result of years of hard work. However, Sun Jiajin was a martial artist at Stage 10 inner force. This level was already considered very powerful in the Zhenwu family. The fist carried a violent aura. Obviously, Sun Jiajin's anger was soaring, so he used all his strength. One was at Stage 10 inner force, and the other was at the peak of Stage 8 inner force. They were not on the same level at all. If Xiao Hai was hit by this punch, even if he didn't die, he would be seriously injured. Therefore, Xiao Hai was shocked and angry at this moment. He subconsciously retreated, but the distance between them was very close. Sun Jiajin's speed was also very fast. Even if Xiao Hai wanted to dodge, it was not that easy. Just as he was about to be hit, a big hand reached over and slapped Sun Jiajin's fist. Kacha. The crisp sound of bones breaking was heard. Sun Jiajin's hand was considered crippled. Even if it recovered, it would not be the same as before. Sun Jiajin was a martial artist, and martial artists trained the body. With such a serious injury on his fist, his strength would probably be greatly reduced. Ouch! Sun Jiajin let out a blood-curdling scream as he was forced to take a few steps back by the force of Xiao Chen's palm. He directly smashed through 2 conference tables before falling to the ground. The pain made him sweat profusely. Chapter 802. Sun Jiajin, right? How dare you behave so atrociously in the Xiao family's territory? I think you're tired of living, aren't you? Xiao Chen sneered. Xiao Chen, how dare you hit my dad? You're digging your own grave. Let me tell you, that Sun family isn't afraid of you now. So what if you're a devil? Sun Wuming was shocked and enraged when he saw his father lying on the ground. He stood up and pointed at Xiao Chen as he threatened loudly. Our second priest is here. Huh? Isn't this your sister? Last time, you molested your sister, and then the two of you took advantage of the situation to get together? TSK, you have such a heavy taste. Xiao Chen looked at Sun Wuming and the female delinquent beside him. Humph, don't say such useless things. Don't leave if you have the guts. Wait for my second priest to deal with you. Sun Wuming said as he took out his phone to make a call. Oh, are you stupid? This is my family's company. Why should I leave? Where should I go? I think you're the one who should leave. Xiao Chen said faintly, hurry up and find someone to fix your father's bones. I think he'll say goodbye to his right hand if this drags on. Oh, and he can't masturbate anymore. You. Sun Wu was so angry that his entire body was trembling. However, he had really been blinded by anger earlier. Only after hearing Xiao Chen's words did he remember that his father was still lying on the ground. He quickly ran over. Father, are you all right? Sun Wuming asked anxiously. Of course, before he could ask, the 2 assistants had already rushed over and helped Sun Jiajin up. I'm fine. Sun Jiajin was also a ruthless person. He waved his hand and said, contact the second priest and ask him to come over. Okay. When Sun Wuming heard his father say so, he picked up the phone and contacted the second priest. Second priest, bad news. My father was beaten up by that Xiaochen brat at Xiao family's company. Please come and support him quickly. Yes, I got it. After hanging up, Sun Wuming became arrogant again. He glared at Xiaochen and said, "Not bad, kid. But just you wait. When the second high priest arrives, it'll be the day you die. Oh, then I'll reluctantly let you wait here for a while." Xiaochen nodded. He also wanted to solve the matter once and for all. He still had other things to do. Now the most important thing was to find clues about his father. Therefore, after the matter here was settled, he would go to the outer martial arts world. With his current strength, he might not be able to run amok in the martial arts world, but at least he could protect himself. There was nothing to be afraid of. Sun Wuming harumphed coldly and said, "You make it sound good, but you won't even know how you died in a moment." Xiaochen didn't even look at him. He asked Xiao Hai as if there was no one else around, "Second uncle, find someone to take a look at the media downstairs, and then announce to them that our Xiao family is going to buy all of Sun family's businesses." Oh. Okay. Although Xiao Hai was a little shocked by Xiao Chen's words, he still nodded and agreed. After all, Xiao Chen's identity was not ordinary now. He was the deputy director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. It should not be a problem for him to suppress the Sun family of real martial arts. Of course, Xiao Hai was most worried about the outer martial arts world background behind the Sun family of real martial arts. It was a martial arts family, and the Supernatural Investigation Bureau could not interfere. However, since Xiaochen said so, he should be full of confidence. Therefore, Xiao Hai was not worried. He directly found a company assistant and instructed him to go down to report. When Sun Jiajin and Sun Wuming heard Xiaochen's words, they were furious. They felt that Xiaochen was indulging in the wildest fantasies and was merely making a last-ditch effort to stir up trouble. However, before the second priest arrived, they didn't dare to say anything. After the assistant went down, he reported this explosive news to the various media outlets waiting below. In an instant, these media outlets were in an uproar. They were all dumbfounded. What happened? What was going on? Wasn't it said that the Sun family was going to buy the Xiao family's company? How did it turn into the Xiao family buying the Sun family's company? Was there any inside story in this? Mr. Zhang, you said that you represented the Xiao family to propose to buy the Sun family's hotels and stores in Songning City. Was this news decided by the Xiao Group Holdings senior management? Or is it your private information? A media finally couldn't help but ask. This question is actually very interesting. I said these words at the entrance of the Xiao Group Holdings company. Naturally, I represented the company. Otherwise, wouldn't my boss fire me? Assistant Zhang laughed. But this is different from the previous rumors. Wasn't it said that the Sun family was buying the Xiao family? Another media asked. Who said that? Assistant Zhang asked, wasn't it said by the Sun family themselves? This is the first time our Xiao family publicly responded to this matter. As soon as Assistant Zhang said this, everyone present reacted. Indeed, it was the Sun family talking to themselves before, and the Xiao family didn't make any statement. Thinking of this, they all revealed a playful smile. I'm afraid there's something interesting in this. Assistant Zhang, can we go up for an interview? Another media couldn't wait to ask. I'm sorry, we can't do it now because the negotiation of the acquisition is a trade secret. Of course, once there's a result, we will tell everyone immediately and hold a press conference. Assistant Zhang explained. Okay, then we will wait here. Some media said unwillingly. Of course. Assistant Zhang smiled. After Assistant Zhang finished speaking, he left. In the conference room, Xiaochen listened to Assistant Zhang's report leisurely and nodded slightly. Don't worry, we can hold the press conference soon. Sun Wuming glared at Xiaochen with some resentment, but he didn't dare to say anything. After a while, they heard laughter coming from outside the conference room's window, then a black shadow pushed the window and entered. Who dares to make a move on Arts and Family's people? Do you want to die? The black shadow sneered, and the aura of a level 5 magic master was revealed. He looked at everyone in the conference room with disdain, and finally, his eyes stopped on Xiaochen. In fact, he had already guessed that this person was Xiaochen. After all, judging from the age of the people here, he was the youngest person. It could be determined from the information of Sun Wuming previously. Alright, stop pretending. Is there any point? Staring at me and asking me who did it, are you stupid or pretentious? Xiaochen didn't care about the aura released by the black shadow and said indifferently. You're courting death, Junior. The black shadow flew in front of Xiaochen, stretched out his hand, and slapped at Xiaochen. Pa! The black shadow was sent flying by Xiaochen's slap and fell heavily in the corner, revealing a mouthful of white teeth. Oh, not bad, you're courting death, Junior. Xiaochen said as he clapped his hands. You're a demon general. The black shadow's eyes widened, and his face was full of disbelief. However, because his mouth was leaking air, his tone was a little unclear. Yes, that's right. Congratulations, you got it right. Xiaochen nodded. The black shadow's face immediately turned gloomy. He wanted to say something, but he was unwilling and could only sigh. Although the Sun family also had demon generals, the second priest, who was also the black shadow, wasn't sure if those demon generals could manage the affairs of the secular world. After all, the true martial Sun family came here to make money, and now that they had failed, if the family still used demon generals, they would be laughed at by other families. Let's go first. The second priest finally said after a fierce struggle in his mind. Sun Jiajin and Sun Wuming were still a little confused. They really didn't expect that the second priest couldn't even withstand one move from Xiaochen, and Xiaochen was actually a demon general level expert. How was this possible? The Xiao family was just an ordinary secular family. How could they have a demon general level expert? That was completely impossible. Although they didn't believe it, they had to believe it. Seeing that the second priest had admitted defeat, they could only lower their heads and prepare to leave dejectedly. Wait. Xiaochen said. Ah. Sun Jiajin's footsteps stopped, and he turned around with a pale face. Is there anything else? We won't buy it, and we'll leave, all right? You won't buy it? Xiaochen looked at Sun Jiajin with a smile that didn't seem like a smile. Yes, we won't buy it. Sun Jiajin could only nod. Although it was embarrassing, there was nothing he could do. He had to lower his head under the eaves. Something else, let's buy it. Xiaochen smiled. Ah. Sun Jiajin was stunned. Now let's talk about buying it. Xiaochen said. But. Senior Xiaochen, didn't you say you won't buy it? Sun Jiajin was confused, but he also addressed Xiaochen respectfully as senior. Who said I won't buy it? Didn't I always say I would buy it? Xiaochen said indifferently. This. Sun Jiajin turned around and looked at Xiaochen. Buying it is fine. Our price will definitely be very fair. Oh, you must have misunderstood. What I mean is, we do want to buy it, but it's our Xiao family that wants to buy your Sun family. Didn't my uncle tell you before? Or do you have amnesia? Xiaochen asked with a smile that didn't seem like a smile. Ah. Sun Jiajin finally understood. It turned out that it was Xiaochen who wanted to acquire their Sun family's businesses, and not the other way around. What ah? I don't need you to answer me now. I'll give you a few days to think about it, then give me a reply. Xiaochen knew that this Sun Jiajin definitely couldn't make the decision. After all, he was just a person in charge of Songning City. So, Xiaoqun gave him time to go back and ask for instructions. I got it. Sun Jiajin noticed that Xiaoqun didn't ask him to give a reply immediately. He was relieved and prepared to go back to discuss the countermeasures. I'll go back and ask for instructions, then I'll give you a reply. Sure. Xiaoqun smiled. But don't take too long. If I'm anxious, I might do something. Chapter 803. Sun Jiajin didn't argue any further and left the Xiao family's company. However, their embarrassing appearance was captured by the company's media. What are you taking pictures of? Do you want to die? Sun Wuming said angrily. You. Sun Jiajin wanted to stop Sun Wuming, but it was too late. The reason was that Sun Wuming's attitude would definitely be recorded by the media. Then, tomorrow's news would be different. For example, Sun family's business was acquired and the young master of Sun family was angry. Or Sun family's business failed and they vented their anger on the media. At this time, the best thing to do was to remain silent and not respond. However, it was too late. Everyone, our Sun family and the Xiao family are negotiating a normal business cooperation. Please wait for the final result. I hope everyone can understand. Although Sun Jiajin was arrogant, he didn't want to offend these uncrowned kings. Mr. Sun, is the Sun family acquiring the Xiao family or the Xiao family acquiring the Sun family? A media asked. Please wait for the latest official news. Sun Jiajin waved his hand, then quickly got into the car and left with the second priest and others. After Sun Jiajin went back, he first treated his hand and then called his father, Sun Yizhong. How did this happen? Sun Yizhong didn't blame Sun Jiajin too much. After all, in his opinion, the Sun family's business in Songning had been operating well and was about to surpass the Xiao family. However, there was a problem at the last stage. In fact, Sun Jiajin couldn't be blamed for this. The Xiao family suddenly had a devil general. This was an existence that the Sun family didn't have. Even if he blamed Sun Jiajin, what was the use? I don't know. The Xiao family is just an ordinary family. It's incredible that they could have a devil general. Sun Jiajin said gloomily. Alright, I'll investigate the identity of Xiao Chen. A worldly family will never have a devil general. They don't have this kind of background. Sun Yizhong hung up the phone and began to ask people to investigate. On the other side, the second high priest was in a hurry to make a call to report the situation to the Sun family of the outer martial arts world. The Sun family of the outer martial arts world was a demonic sect family. There were many demonic cultivators in the family. The person who answered the phone was the great elder of the Sun family of the outer martial arts world, Sun Qiba. The family head doesn't know about this yet, but since this has happened, we have to find a way to solve it. Otherwise, how will the Sun family of the outer martial arts world keep its face? Sun Qiba said angrily. Yes, that's why I asked the great elder to send out experts. I think as long as 2 experts of the devil general level can firmly suppress that Xiao Chen. The second priest said. How could I not know that? But sending 1 is enough. If we send 2, then others will think that our Sun family can't even deal with a secular family. Why would we send so many experts? Sun Qiba frowned and said, what level do you think that Xiao Chen is at? What's his specific standard? Don't call me old devil master devil master. A devil master at the peak of the 10th level of perfection is also called a devil master. This should be at the 1st or 2nd level of the devil master level. The second high priest recalled and combined it with his own injuries. Oh, that's fine. There's no need for 2. I'll send an expert to talk to him. It'll be best if he doesn't make a move, lest people talk about it behind his back. Sun Qiba said, according to the situation you mentioned, I'll send a 5th level devil general to completely suppress Xiao Chen. That's great. The second high priest didn't expect the great elder to send a 5th-level devil general expert. He was instantly overjoyed. Then this time, we'll definitely make the Xiao family compromise. Wait for the news. Also, find out if Xiao Chen has any other background. No matter how powerful the secular Xiao family is, they can't produce a devil general, not even a devil master. Sun Chiba ordered. Yes. The second high priest answered. On this side, both sides finished communicating. On the other side, Sun Jiajin also obtained some information on Xiao Chen. He anxiously came to find the second high priest to discuss countermeasures. Sun Jiajin, the upper family is very angry about this. They're also very angry about your lack of information before. However, under my mediation, the upper family still plans to give you a chance. The second high priest said. Thank you for your help, second high priest. Sun Jiajin hurriedly cupped his fists and thanked the second high priest. However, he was a little troubled. But I can't do it now. I'm also very helpless. I have no other way. I'm not a match at all, and I can't do anything to the Xiao family. Although Sun Jiajin was very grateful that the second high priest spoke up for him, if the upper family blamed him, he would lose his position as the heir to the young master. However, the main problem now was, even if he mediated, how could he salvage the situation? This isn't a problem. The upper family is preparing to send a 5th-level devil general expert. With such an expert by your side, do you still have to be afraid of the Xiao family? The second high priest smiled faintly. Really? Sun Jiajin was overjoyed when he heard this. His whole body trembled with excitement. They're sending such an expert for me? Then I'll definitely make the Xiao family pay with blood. Second high priest, you'll see when the time comes. I'll make the Xiao family lower the price to the lowest. From Sun Jiajin's point of view, when the 5th-level devil general took action, Xiao Chen's current identity wouldn't be a problem at all. Oh right, does Xiao Chen have any other identities? The second high priest suddenly asked. I was just about to talk about this. Xiao Chen's current identity is the deputy director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. However, this identity is still a deterrent to the true martial families in the secular world. I was a little worried that he would deal with the true martial Sun family. However, now that there's a 5th-level devil general from the upper family taking action, it's no longer a problem. Sun Jiajin said proudly. Oh. I didn't expect this Xiao Chen to have such an identity. The second high priest was a little surprised. But that's nothing. This identity might be a deterrent to the secular families, but it doesn't have any deterrent to the outer martial arts world. Yes, but when will the experts from the upper family arrive? Sun Jiajin rubbed his palms and asked with some anticipation. It should be soon. The upper family has to hurry up with this matter. It's better to be early than late. The second high priest said. All right. Then I'll wait quietly. Sun Jiajin nodded. In the Xiao family's company, the Sun family's people had all left. Xia Huang and Yunnan looked at Xiao Chen in shock. Xiao Chen wasn't a devil general before, but a devil master. They didn't expect Xiao Chen to become so powerful after not seeing him for a while. His strength had risen unimaginably. Yunnan thought, no wonder Yu Xiaochuan asked him to cooperate with the Xiao family. It turned out that the Xiao family's Xiao Chen was so powerful. Xiao Chen, now we have completely fallen out with the Sun family. You are now a devil general, so you naturally don't have to be afraid of anything. However, I'm afraid that they will use the power of the outer martial arts world. Xiao Hai was a little worried. The Sun family has a backer in the outer martial arts world. The strength of the Sun family in the outer martial arts world can't be underestimated. I know this. It doesn't matter. Let's see what reinforcements they can get. Xiao Chen didn't care. He had already expected that Qin Jiajin would go back to find reinforcements, so he didn't make Qin Jiajin make a decision today. Because no matter what was said today, once he went back and found a strong backer, Qin Jiajin would go back on his words. Xiaochen didn't want to waste his effort and directly let him go back to find reinforcements. When he couldn't find any more, the matter would be solved. Alright, since you are confident, then we can rest assured. Xiao Hai nodded. In his opinion, Xiaochen had grown up and could take charge of things alone. He didn't have to worry about these things anymore. Xia Huang and Yunnan saw the strength that Xiaochen displayed. They didn't say much and went back to their own matters. 3 days later, Xiao Hai received a call from Qin Jiajin. Xiao Hai, it's Qin Jiajin. Qin Jiajin sounded very happy on the other side of the phone. Yes, Mr. Qin, what's the matter? Could it be that your injuries have healed and you have thought about the acquisition? Xiao Hai asked faintly. Since they had completely fallen out, Xiao Hai wouldn't be too polite and even mocked him. Of course, those injuries are nothing. I've already thought about the acquisition. Mr. Xiao, when are you free? Let's meet up and discuss the acquisition, Qin Jiajin said. Of course, that injury is nothing. Oh? You've thought it through? Alright then, let's do it this afternoon. The location is still Xiao family's company, Xiao Hai said directly. Sure, I will be there on time. Qin Jiajin was also very anxious. When he heard Xiao Hai say that they would meet in the afternoon, he immediately became very happy. Oh? Mr. Qin has thought it through? No problem, then I will await your arrival respectfully. Xiao Hai held the phone and was a little confused. Why did Qin Jiajin suddenly give in after a few days? Could it be that he couldn't find a backer, so he made this decision because he was afraid of Xiaochen? Thinking about it, this was the only possibility. Immediately, Xiao Hai called Xia Huang and Yunnan and told them that the Qin family had agreed to the acquisition. He asked them to come over in the afternoon to discuss the details of the acquisition. As for Xiaochen, Xiao Hai didn't inform him to come over. After all, Xiaochen didn't understand these kinds of business matters. It was better to let Xiaochen know after the dust had settled. Moreover, Xiaochen had been cultivating at home during this period of time. Xiao Hai didn't want to disturb him. Actually, regarding Xiao Xiao and Xiaochen living together, Xiao Hai and Xiao Yuanshan had already reached a consensus on this matter. After all, Xiao Xiao wasn't the biological child of the Xiao family. She was adopted. He and his wife didn't have any children, so they adopted Xiao Xiao. Basically, no one in the Xiao family mentioned this matter. However, from Xiao Hai's point of view, Xiao Xiao must have accidentally found out about this information. Therefore, she unscrupulously lived together with Xiao Chen. She didn't even guard against herself. Chapter 804. But Xiao Hai didn't care about these. If Xiao Xiao and Xiao Chen were together, it would be a good thing. The two of them would be even closer. As he was thinking about these things, Xia Huang and Yunnan came. When they heard that the Qin family agreed to the acquisition, they were very happy. These properties were all good properties that the Qin family had just acquired, and they had put in a lot of effort in the negotiation. If they could buy them all at once, it would be worthwhile even at the original price. But with this opportunity to bargain, they naturally wouldn't let it go. Immediately, the three of them found a lawyer and assistant and prepared to start the liquidation of the Qin family's current assets. They were ready to come up with the most reasonable price, and then negotiate based on this price. For a time, the entire Xiao family's company was busy. At 1:00 in the afternoon, Qin Jiajin brought his people to the Xiao family's company on time. Under the Xiao family's company, several media outlets were called. This time, it was the Qin family who called them. This situation made Xiao Hai a little confused. It was obviously a shameful thing for the Qin family. It was obviously the acquisition of the Xiao family, But now it became the Xiao family's acquisition of the Qin family. How could they still call so many media outlets? But no matter what, this saved some trouble for the Xiao family. They didn't need to call them a second time. Mr. Qin, you are here. Welcome. Xiao Hai's attitude toward him also became a lot better because the other party agreed to the cooperation. Hehe, Mr. Xiao Hai, you are quite active. Qin Jiajin smiled and said, then, shall we start now? Okay, we can start. Xiao Hai nodded. Both sides sat down in the conference room. Then, when Xiao Hai was about to speak, he heard Qin Jiajin said first, according to our calculations, the Xiao family store and hotel are worth about 600 million. But based on the current business situation, it is only worth the price of real estate. So, our final offer is 300 million. What? Xiao Hai suddenly widened his eyes. What did you say? What's 600 million and 300 million? Didn't we agree to discuss the acquisition? Why did you? Yeah, that's right. Isn't this acquisition? Qin Jiajin laughed mockingly and said, the acquisition we are talking about is the Qin family acquiring the Xiao family. What else do you think it is? Xiao family acquiring Qin family? Are you dreaming? You. Qin Jiajin. Did you forget the pain after the scar healed? Don't you remember how you got out that day? Xiao Hai was instantly enraged. Are you messing with us? How is it fooling you? You've made it very clear. Qin Jiajin said indifferently, we are very sincere in our cooperation. For this purchase, the Qin family of the outer martial arts world has also sent someone over to supervise the situation. This is an elder of the Qin family of the outer martial arts world, a fifth-layer devil general level expert. Does Mr. Xiao Hai still think that we are playing with you? What? Xiao Hai glanced at the old man beside Qin Jiajin. Previously, he thought that it was a lawyer or financial advisor that the other party had hired. He didn't expect it to be a fifth-layer demon general. Hehe, the contract has been prepared. If there are no problems, I think Mr. Xiao Hai should sign it. Qin Jiajin waved his hand and let the assistant beside him take out a prepared contract and place it in front of Xiao Hai. Xiao Hai's expression was very ugly. Xia Huang and Yunnan were the same. The few of them had been busy for half a day, but in the end, they were fooled by the Qin family. Although the Qin family said that they were playing with words, it was obvious that they were up to no good. Why, Mr. Xiao Hai doesn't seem to be very willing to sign the contract. Qin Jiajin's expression changed and his tone became somewhat strict. He then turned to the old man beside him and said, Elder, you see, this Xiao family doesn't seem to be very obedient. Humph. The elder immediately snorted coldly. The aura from his body was released in an instant. At this moment, the pressure made Xiao Hai and the others feel as if they were about to suffocate. This was a fifth-layer devil general level expert. They had never seen one before. Just the pressure alone made them feel as if they were about to die. I want to contact Xiao Chen. After calming himself down, Xiao Hai knew that the situation had already gotten out of his control. He had no way of making the decision, so he had to ask Xiao Chen. Sure, as you wish. Qin Jiajin was confident that victory was in his grasp, so he wasn't afraid that Xiao Hai would look for Xiao Chen. If he didn't let him look around, he believed that Xiao Chen wouldn't be so willing to sign the contract. Qin Jiajin's current thinking was very similar to Xiao Chen's in the past. At this moment, Xiao Chen was currently cultivating. He was in the midst of breaking through to the golden core stage. These few days, he had already faintly touched the barrier of breaking through, and he was also planning to use the myriad golden Dan fruit. Xiao Chen wasn't an alchemist. If he could refine pills, one myriad golden Dan fruit would probably be enough to solve the problem of breaking through. However, things were different now. This wasn't the cultivation world. Alchemists were already extinct, and even the elder heaven ancestor couldn't do anything about it. Therefore, Xiaochen could only rely on quantity to win. Looking at the last myriad golden dan fruit in his hand, Xiaochen sighed. After clenching the extraterrestrial ink meteorite tightly, he gritted his teeth and sent it into his mouth. In an instant, Xiaochen felt as if the meridians in his entire body were about to explode. The surrounding spiritual energy also began to become incomparably dense. The phone rang, but Xiaochen didn't notice it at all. Xiaohai held the phone, but no one picked up for a long time. When the call ran out of time, he called again. What's wrong? You can't find him? Don't worry, you can slowly look for him. Don't worry. Sun Jiajin's words seemed to be comforting, but in reality, he was mocking him. Since victory was already in his grasp, he didn't care if Xiaohai dawdled a little longer. How could Xiaohai not hear this mockery? What Sun Jiajin meant was that it wasn't that he couldn't find Xiaochen, but that he was deliberately stalling for time. We definitely have to find him. I can't make the decision for what you said. Xiaohai said indifferently, not bothering to argue about these meaningless things. Whatever. Sun Jiajin smiled faintly. Xiaohai anxiously called again and again. Looking at Sun Jiajin's mocking expression, Xiaohai was so angry that he directly put the phone on speaker. I called Xiaochen, but he didn't pick up. Maybe he didn't have his phone with him. Oh, I know. No need to explain. Maybe he called the wrong number. Sun Jiajin laughed. You. Xiaohai was furious, but there was nothing he could do. Xiao family, Xiaochen's villa. At this moment, Xiaochen let out a long sigh. He felt that his entire person was different. Was this the strength of the Golden Core stage? Kid, I didn't expect that with your fortuitous encounter and the 10,000 crossing Golden Core fruit, you actually broke through to the Golden Core stage so quickly. You have to know that some cultivators can't reach this height in their entire life. The Elder Heaven Ancestor congratulated him. Isn't it because of your good teachings as a master? Xiaochen was a good person, and it was rare for him to tease him. Don't joke around. Hurry up and pick up the phone. When you broke through just now, the phone kept ringing. The Elder Heaven Ancestor said. Oh. Xiaochen couldn't help but be stunned. Why didn't I hear it? When I broke through, I should be able to sense the situation outside, right? Xiaochen was a cultivator, and his divine sense was strong. Even when he broke through, he would still be able to sense the situation outside. This was the case in the past, but this time, he really didn't feel it. The 10,000 crossing Golden Core fruit and the extraterrestrial ink meteorite had to be wholeheartedly used. Otherwise, it might cause Qigong deviation. Therefore, in order to prevent this situation from happening, the Elder Heaven Ancestor isolated Xiaochen's divine sense when he broke through, so that Xiaochen couldn't hear the situation and sounds outside. I isolated your divine sense because I was afraid that something would happen to you. The Elder Heaven Ancestor said. But don't worry, I will help you monitor the situation outside, and I won't let anyone disturb you. So that's how it is. Xiaochen picked up the phone and saw more than a dozen missed calls, all from his second uncle Xiaohai. Xiaochen quickly dialed Xiaohai's number and asked, "Second uncle, what's the matter?" "Xiaochen, Sun Jiajin brought someone here again. He's a Devil General Level 5 expert cultivator. He wants to buy our Xiao family's hotel and store for 300 million. Xiaohai briefly explained what happened here. He didn't even ask why Xiaochen didn't answer the phone. Oh? 300 million? Xiaochen listened to this price and suddenly smiled. This is a good price. We can talk about it. Let them wait for me to come over and talk about it in detail. Okay. Xiaohai was also stunned. He didn't expect Xiaochen to say that it was a good price, and he even wanted to talk about it in detail. This made him a little puzzled. Not to mention 300 million, Even the 600 million that Sun Jiajin estimated was an extremely low price. It wasn't even a third of the price of a normal business. But thinking about it, Xiaochen probably heard that the other party had a Devil General Level 5 expert cultivator and changed his mind. A wise man submits to circumstances. Xiaochen was probably the same. Xiao Hai sighed and hung up the phone. Because he was using the hands-free button, Sun Jiajin heard Xiaochen's words clearly. He immediately smiled. It seems that Xiaochen is still very sensible. He thinks that 300 million is a good price. I told you, this price is very good. That's right. I think it's a lot too. Sun Wuming also smiled. He didn't expect Xiaochen to be so cowardly. When he heard that there was a Devil General Level 5 expert cultivator here, he immediately agreed to the price of 300 million. Xiaochen arrived very quickly. Just like the second priest, Xiaochen came in through the window. But when he looked at the conference table, it was already full. There was no place for him. Xiaochen, you're here. Xiao Hai was just about to instruct someone to prepare a seat for Xiaochen, but Xiaochen waved his hand, indicating that there was no need. Xiaochen, it seems that you're quite sensible. You also think that 300 million is a good price? Sun Jiajin teased. Oh, I think it's quite good. Xiaochen nodded. Chapter 805. Ha ha ha. Sun Wuming laughed. Xiaochen, weren't you acting cool in front of us? Weren't you very powerful? Didn't you tell me to get lost? Oh. Xiaochen could not be bothered with him. He looked around and his gaze landed on the Sun clan's elder. Xiaochen walked over on his own. Then, to everyone's bewilderment, he suddenly made a move and picked up the Sun family's elder. Then, he casually threw him against the wall with a loud clang. The Sun family elder was pushed into the wall of the conference room. Dumbfounded. Everyone was dumbfounded. The Xiao family looked at Xiaochen in shock. The Sun family's people were stunned. Xiaochen's actions were simple and violent, but no matter how the Sun family elder protected himself with demonic energy, it was useless. This was the difference in strength. Even now, when he was embedded in the wall, he could still feel a wave of pressure acting on his body, making him unable to free himself. Okay, Sun Jiajin, we can sign the contract. Xiaochen smiled as he sat in the Sun family's elder's seat. He said, there was an idiot sitting here just now. He was too much of a hindrance, so I threw him away. Hee, it's great now. We can only sign the contract if we sit close. Sun Jiajin stuttered. Second uncle, is the contract done? I think the price of 300 million is reasonable. Although it's a little much, it's still barely acceptable. After all, the Sun family has spent a lot of effort to acquire these businesses. Don't let them suffer too much, Xiaochen said with a smile. Ah, it's done. Xiao Hai was already a bit numb. What kind of strength did Xiaochen have? He actually swatted a 5th-level demon general away like he was swatting a fly, and he still hasn't come out of the wall. Oh, Sun Jiajin, can we sign the contract? Xiaochen asked. Sun Jiajin didn't know what to do. Hey, you still want to find someone? Then hurry up and find them. My time is limited. Don't make me anxious. Otherwise, your true marshal's Sun family will be here soon, said Xiaochen impatiently. At this time, the Sun family elder finally dug himself out from the wall and pointed at Xiaochen in shock. You're the Demon King? Oh, maybe. Xiaochen bared his teeth. If there's nothing else, hurry up and get Sun Jiajin to sign the contract. Otherwise, I don't mind sending you to hell next time. You are the Demon King. I admit that you are very powerful, but don't be too arrogant. The Sun family elder still had some confidence. Our Tsun family belongs to the demon sect of the outer pugilistic world. Although you are a demon king, you are just a disciple of a noble family in the secular world. If you go against our Tsun family, you will be going against the entire demon sect of the outer pugilistic world. Oh? Can you represent the outer Wulin demon sect? Xiaofan looked at the Tsun family elder playfully. Furthermore, why would the demon sect stand up for your Tsun family? Humph, you can try if you don't believe me. The Tsun family elder said proudly, you probably don't know yet? All the demon sects of the outer pugilistic world have already united together and elected a demon sect leader. When something happens to our Tsun family, the other demon sects will not sit idly by. It couldn't be helped. The Tsun family of the outer pugilistic world didn't have an expert of the demon king level. In the outer pugilistic world, the demon king level was basically the top. Just like the martial king, they were both rare existences. There were only a few of them in the inner pugilistic world. Therefore, since his strength couldn't compare to Xiaofan, the Tsun family elder could only bring out his background. He hoped to use this background to suppress Xiaofan. Oh, what do you mean? Asked Xiaofan. Let's drop this matter. No one will buy anyone else. In the future, we will mind our own business. How about that? The Tsun family elder asked, you have to think clearly. No matter how powerful you are just one person. We are the entire demon sect. Oh, hee hee. Xiaofan laughed again. Are you done? Hurry up and sign the contract. Otherwise, none of you can leave today. Do you believe that I will report to the family head now and let him report to the demon sect to take care of you? The Tsun family elder was a little angry. He had said so much, but it turned out that this Xiaofan was stubborn. Why did he still want to sign the contract? Anyone with a little bit of brains who could understand the situation wouldn't continue to insist on buying. Oh, then hurry up if you want to report. Xiaofan waved his hand and signaled him to hurry up. Humph. The Tsun family elder took out his phone and glanced at Xiaofan. He directly called the family head. Although the great elder Tsunizhang sent him, the family head still had to communicate with the demon sect. Tsun-san, didn't you go to the secular world? Why are you calling me? An old and somewhat impatient voice came from the other side. If you have something to say, say it quickly. I am cultivating. Family head, there's a problem. The Tsun family elder's voice was a little gloomy. That kid from the Xiao family in the secular world is actually a demon king. I am no match for him. Now, he wants to buy all our properties in Songning for 300 million. Do you think, should we report to the demon sect head and ask the Kuei mountain sect to support us? What? Demon king? The Tsun family head seemed to be unable to believe his ears. Tsun-san, what are you saying? Family head, everything I said is true. The Tsun family elder said. Alright, tell me the name of this demon king. I will report it. The Tsun family head didn't care much before. He only heard that the Tsun family of Zhenwu suffered a loss in Songning City in the secular world. He didn't think that there was such a hidden expert there. His name is Xiaofan. He is the vice president of the secular world warrior guild. The Tsun family elder was interrupted by the Tsun family head's shocked voice. What did you say? His name is Xiaofan. And the vice president of the warrior guild? The Tsun family head's voice changed. Others might not know who Xiaofan was, but he knew. He was the newly elected demon sect head. He had gone to watch the competition in Wutan town. However, because it wasn't someone from the Kuei mountain sect who was elected, he didn't care. He thought that the demon sect had only existed in name, so he didn't inform the rest of the Tsun family. But recently, he didn't know what happened to the Kuei mountain sect. They started to promote Xiaofan and recognized Xiaofan as the sect head. This was unusual. From the Tsun family head's point of view, Xiao Chen had reached an agreement with the Kuei Mountain sect in private. But no matter what, Xiao Chen's position as the sect head was effective. However, he didn't expect the Sun family of Zhenwu to provoke Xiao Chen, the demon sect head. Previously, when the Sun family elder mentioned the Xiao family, the Sun family head didn't think too much about it. But when he mentioned Xiao Chen, the vice president of the warrior guild, his identity was confirmed. Without a doubt, he was the new demon sect head. Yes, his name is Xiao Chen. The Sun family elder was still confused. Retreat, everyone retreat. Give him all the properties. Don't buy them, just give them away for free. Get out of Songning City quickly. The Sun family head quickly made a decision. Right now, the Kuei Mountain sect was building up momentum for Xiao Chen. If they went against Xiao Chen now, wouldn't that be asking for trouble? If the Kuei Mountain sect targeted the Sun family, they would be in trouble. Therefore, the Sun family head couldn't give the Kuei Mountain sect any excuse to establish dominance. Retreat? Why? Not only the Sun family elder, but even Sun Jiajin heard it. He's the demon sect head. Do you want to die? Report to the demon sect. If you don't want to retreat, report to him directly if you can. Let's see if he can stand up for you. The Sun family head said angrily. However, the Sun family head was also very shocked. Xiao Chen seemed to only have the strength of a demon general. How could his true strength be that of a demon king? Could it be that he had hidden his strength back then? If his strength was really that of a demon king, then these sects would be convinced that he had become the demon sect head. At this age, if he was already a demon king, then his future would probably be limitless. Moreover, in the outer martial arts world, the demon king level was basically the highest level. There was no higher. Therefore, in the outer martial arts world, there were not many who dared to doubt Xiao Chen. If Xiao Chen was only a demon general, if Xiao Chen was only a puppet, and if he was not recognized by the Kuei Mountain sect, then the Sun family might still have a chance to wrestle. But now, the Sun family head made the wisest choice. The Sun family elder was instantly dumbfounded. He looked at Xiao Chen in disbelief. Although he knew about the selection of the demon sect head, he did not know who became the demon sect head. This was because it had little to do with him. Before he came out, he had always been in the family. It did not matter much to him who became the demon sect head. But now, he was very shocked. A disciple from the secular world was actually the demon sect head of the outer martial arts world? And a demon king level existence? This was simply beyond his imagination. The Sun family elder wanted to say something, but the Sun family head had already hung up the phone. This sect head Xiao. This is a misunderstanding. Our Sun family's property in Songning is all given to you. We will leave Songning City now and never come back again. The Sun family elder understood at this moment. Since this was the family head's order, it must be carried out to the letter. Otherwise, not only would they offend the family head, but they would also offend Xiao Chen. Oh? Give it to me? Do you think I look like someone who would snatch other people's things? Xiao Chen retorted. The Sun family elder was in a difficult position at this moment. He wanted to leave as soon as possible. He did not know how to answer Xiao Chen's question. If he asked for money, he was afraid that Xiao Chen was playing with him. There would be worse tricks waiting for him. If he didn't ask for money, Xiao Chen said so again. Forget it. I won't tease you anymore. It's boring. Xiao Chen waved his hand with flagging interest. You guys write the transfer agreement, and then announce to the public that the Xiao family has fully purchased the Sun family's property in Songning. The Sun family will withdraw from Songning. As for the price, don't mention it. Just keep it a secret. Chapter 806. I understand. The Tsin family's elder thought to himself, what kind of price is there? Isn't it free? Besides, of course, it must be kept a secret. If the Tsin family gave away their assets without asking for a dime, others would laugh at them. Immediately, the entourage of the Tsin family began to draft documents, preparing to hand over all of the Tsin family's assets in Songning to the Xiao family. Meanwhile, Tsin Jiajin and Tsin Wuming were dejected at the moment. They couldn't say a word and just sat there. Sometimes, things were so dramatic that they changed back and forth. In the end, they might even feel sad if they rejoiced for nothing. After the agreement was written, the Tsin family's elder left the Xiao family's company with a group of people dejectedly. Downstairs, they saw the media that the Tsin family had found themselves looking for and suddenly felt a little ridiculous. "Mr. Tsin, may I ask if you have completed the acquisition?" one of the media asked. "Oh, about this question, let me briefly explain. In fact, the whole acquisition process was led by the Xiao family. From now on, all of the Tsin family's assets in Songning belong to the Xiao family." Tsin Jiajin adjusted his expression and then said. Although it seemed a little insincere, he still said it calmly, "That's all I can say. All right, everyone, we have to leave." After that, the Tsin family's people got into the business car together. However, there were still a lot of media behind them asking, "Mr. Tsin, why did you always say that you wanted to acquire the Xiao family's assets? It seems to be different from the current situation." Ahem, these things, wait for the Xiao family's press conference. As for the details, it's a trade secret. I have said all I can. After Tsin Jiajin finished speaking, he waved his hand to signal his assistant to drive. These media were very regretful that they didn't get any useful information from him. Fortunately, at this time, Mr. Zhang of the Xiao family's company came out and said that there was an important press conference. He invited all the media friends to the conference room and wait for the company's unified announcement. This time, the media was very happy and entered the Xiao family's company one after another. The Tsin family's matter came and went quickly. Xiao Chen didn't expect it to be settled so quickly. The Lu family also got the news immediately. When he heard that the Tsin family had sold all their properties to the Xiao family, he knew that Xiao Chen had helped in the middle. Lu Jinming was grateful and quickly called Xiao Chen to thank him. However, Xiao Chen just comforted him and told the Lu family to walk on the right path as much as possible in the future and not do any bad business. As for the Zheng family, when Zheng Xiaoquan saw this news, he was also a little surprised. However, the Zheng family was also a beneficiary because the Tsin family didn't only buy stores and hotels, they also bought some other businesses. And because these businesses could not be managed, they could only be sold to the Zheng family at a cheap price. The main thing was that the Zheng family did not have much money. Even if they wanted to extort a high price, they did not know where to start. Afraid that a long delay would bring trouble, he decided to deal with it cheaply. Then, he went back overnight and left Songning. Xiao Chen, on the other hand, returned to his previous days of cultivation. He still needed to consolidate his cultivation. However, what Xiao Chen did not expect was that just after he stopped for a few days, the Supernatural Investigation Bureau had a new mission. Deputy Bureau Chief Xiao Chen, this is Ling Tian. Ling Tian called, and the voice on the other side of the phone was a little rushed. Where are you? I'm in Songning, at my house. Bureau Chief Ling, what's the matter? Asked Xiao Chen. It's like this. A group of people wants the latest research results of the Research Institute, which is the forging method of the extraterrestrial meteoric iron. They sent me a threatening letter, asking me to hand over the forging method. Said Ling Tian. Forging method? Xiao Chen was stunned. Could it be that the Research Institute already has a result and can forge the extraterrestrial meteoric iron? Xiao Chen was a little shocked. He had coveted the extraterrestrial meteoric iron for a long time, but he did not know how to forge it. Although the material was hard, it could not be used if it was forged into the shape of a flying sword. As for the research base, it was probably not as simple as just forging. They must have obtained the refining method, which was why they were coveted and asked for it. Otherwise, any martial arts sect would be able to forge weapons by brute force. It's done, it can be smelted. However, I don't know who leaked the news. This news should be an absolute secret, but now a group of mysterious people knows about it. This group of mysterious people is very strong, and they come and go without a trace. They actually put the letter under my nose and escaped. Therefore, I suspect that they should be at the level of a late-stage martial artist," said Ling Tian. "Oh, then Bureau Chief Ling, do you mean that you want me to protect the research institute?" asked Xiao Chen. "No," Ling Tian said. "The research institute has already sent more troops and special forces to protect it. No matter how strong the other party is, once they are locked on by a small infrared missile, they will either die or be crippled. Therefore, there is no need to worry about the research institute for now." "That is..." Xiao Chen was a little confused. Since the research institute had such a tight security system, why did they look for him? Could it be that Ling Tian suspected that he had leaked the secret? That was not possible. He did not even know the progress of the research institute. It's like this, the other party seems to know my background. They actually threatened to kidnap my granddaughter to force me to hand over the forging information. Ling Tian said. "Your granddaughter?" Xiao Chen was slightly taken aback. "Where is she? Is there no one protecting her?" "There is someone protecting her, but it won't do if the person protecting her is too obvious. My granddaughter is currently in university. If it is too obvious, then her normal life in school will be affected. If that happens, then she will not have any friends. Therefore, I think that you should be able to go to university and protect her secretly." "Me? Go to university?" Xiao Chen finally understood why Ling Tian was looking for him. However, this matter is very confusing. "Bureau Chief Ling, you want me to protect your granddaughter, right? But who wants to deal with her? For how long? Am I a match for the other party?" "That's right, I want you to protect her. This can be considered a request. I know that with your current identity, you are not suitable to be a bodyguard, but, because of my work, I owe my granddaughter and cannot accompany her. Now that she is in danger, I have to ensure her safety." Ling Tian replied, "She wants to live a normal university life, and doesn't want to be monitored and alienated by her classmates. So, after thinking about it, I think you're the most suitable candidate. After all, your strength is there for all to see, and your age is also suitable." Sigh. "Alright, since Bureau Chief Ling has spoken, then I will definitely agree. However, you have to tell me the situation in detail, right?" Xiao Chen did not say much before agreeing. After all, Ling Tian had treated him quite well. Previously, when Ling Tian had found out about his identity, he had not said much. Instead, he had confirmed Xiao Chen's identity in one fell swoop. However, he still had to understand the situation before he could make a decision. The situation is like this. I suspect that these people are from the inner martial arts world. Ling Tian said seriously. What? Inner martial arts world? Xiao Chen was a little shocked after hearing this. Inner martial arts world? They are actually from the inner martial arts world? Xiao Chen just had the strength to challenge the outer martial arts world. Not long after, there were already people from the inner martial arts world? This is just a guess. After all, we all know the situation of the outer martial arts world. Moreover, the outer martial arts world is not so unscrupulous. They are also afraid of attracting unnecessary trouble. After all, these sects basically do not exist. The monk can run, but the temple cannot run. When the time comes, the armored troops will be mobilized and these sects will be wiped out in a matter of minutes. Ling Tian said, but the inner martial arts world is different. The inner martial arts world has always been a mysterious existence. No one knows where it is and no one knows how to enter it. They are always the ones who take the initiative to contact the outside world. No one has ever taken the initiative to contact them. So mysterious? This was the first time Xiaofan heard about the details of the inner martial arts world. He was a little shocked. So, we still can't do anything about the inner martial arts world? You can say that, but for so many years, it has been peaceful. The inner martial arts world generally rarely interferes with the affairs of the secular world. They also have their own conventions. This time, the refining method of the extraterrestrial meteoric iron might be extremely important to them. That's why they have taken such extreme measures. Ling Tian said, of course, it could also be that the outer martial arts world is pretending to use such extreme measures to hide their identity. I understand. When do we act? Xiaofan roughly understood, so he asked. The sooner the better. I don't know if this threat is real or fake. Ling Tian said, I hope it is just a joke. Okay, then I will go immediately. Where is your granddaughter? Xiaofan asked. In Lan City University. Ling Tian said, this matter is confidential. Very few people know about my granddaughter, including the people in the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. However, I don't know how these people know, if that's the case. Xiaofan thought that there must be a traitor. However, this was not easy to say. After all, the Supernatural Investigation Bureau was under Ling Tian's control. He was only the deputy director. Thus, he said, okay, then I will go to Lan City now. That's great. Deputy Director Xiaofan, I will also go to Lan City to wait for you. Ling Tian himself did not expect Xiaofan to agree so readily. I will also book your plane ticket for you. That's not necessary. I can go by myself. Xiaofan was now in the gold core stage. Therefore, he wanted to see how fast his flying speed was. He was prepared to fly directly to Lan City instead of taking a plane. Alright, see you in Lan City then. Ling Tian agreed. After hanging up the phone, Xiaofan directly found Xiao Hai and Xiao Yuanshan. He told them about his new mission and then left. Chapter 807. He didn't wait for Xiao to finish school. Otherwise, he was afraid that Xiao would pester him again. What made Xiaofan puzzled was that Xiao Hai was busy taking over the company these days. He didn't ask about Xiaofan and Xiao Zhao's situation at all. It seemed that he had forgotten what happened that morning. In the box that Xiaofan took out from under the volcano, there was an antique flying sword. Xiaofan had refined it into his own flying sword. At least, it was much better than the previous handicraft. He didn't know if the smiling Maitreya had noticed the problem. In fact, the smiling Maitreya was a little suspicious. These days, he had been studying Xiaofan's flying sword. However, no matter how he used his mind to control it, the flying sword couldn't fly. This made the smiling Maitreya feel that something was wrong. He looked for the eldest brother and the dragon-knocking Taoist to study it together. Junior brother smiling face, you have been studying this flying sword in seclusion these days. What have you learned? The eldest brother asked with a smile. He thought that the smiling Maitreya had mastered the way to use this flying sword and asked them to demonstrate it. Yes, junior brother smiling face, you didn't ask us to come here to demonstrate this magic weapon to us, did you? The dragon-knocking Taoist laughed. The smiling Maitreya's face didn't look good. He was no longer smiling. Two brothers, I feel that I have been cheated. This flying star sword, no matter how I use my mind to control it, I can't control it. I suspect that this thing is fake. Fake? The eldest brother was stunned. He picked up the flying star sword with a solemn face and carefully observed it. After looking at it for a while, he shook his head. I can't see anything. But didn't you tell me that you saw with your own eyes that Xiaochen can fly with this flying star sword? And you have personally tested it on it. It can fly. Yes, but I don't know what's going on. Smiling Maitreya frowned and said, it was like this at the time, and I'm sure that Xiaochen didn't change, but who would have thought that after he came back, it wouldn't work no matter what. Well, let's not be presumptuous. I think I and old Taoist Dian Long will give it a try. Let's see if the two of us can control it with our thoughts. If we can't, then we'll ask the martial uncles of the sect to come and take a look. If they can't, then there's a problem. Eldest senior brother said after thinking for a moment. All right. The smiling Maitreya nodded. In fact, he had been experimenting on his own before and had not asked others to try it because he was selfish. After all, if he let others use their thoughts to control it, once they succeeded and he did not, he could only let others use it first. If others wanted to borrow it, they would be too embarrassed to ask for it back. In this way, when others used it, he would have no time to try it out. Therefore, he had been in seclusion to try it out. Who would have thought that after such a long period of seclusion, there would still be no progress? He could only ask his two senior brothers to give him advice. Thus, the two of them sat down cross-legged and began to use their thoughts to control it. On the other side, Xiaochen had already stepped onto the new flying sword and was flying at full speed towards Lan City. This flying sword was indeed extraordinary. Whether it was in terms of speed or appearance, it was much better than that lousy handicraft from before. The flying sword from before could only be used as a hidden weapon for sneak attacks. However, this flying sword could truly be used as a weapon to fight against other cultivators. Lan City, Supernatural Investigation Bureau Branch. Xiaochen met with Ling Tian. Deputy Bureau Chief Xiao, why are you here so quickly? Ling Tian looked at him with some shock. How did you get here? I flew here, Xiaochen said with a smile. Do you have a private plane? There are no flights today. Ling Tian said in bewilderment. He. Xiaochen smiled. Bureau Chief Ling, you can just call me Xiaochen in the future. There's no need to call me Deputy Bureau Chief Xiao. There's also no need to be so polite. Alright, then I'll call you Xiaochen. Ling Tian didn't act pretentious. Look at my age, you can call me Uncle Ling or Grandpa Ling. Of course, you can also call me Big Brother Ling, it's better to call me Bureau Chief Ling. It's more formal. Xiaochen didn't want to have too deep of a relationship with the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. He also didn't want to be restricted, so it was better not to get too close to him. Ling Tian seemed to have seen through Xiaochen's thoughts. He only smiled and said, actually, this mission is my personal request to you. With your current position, I can't directly order you to do anything. It has to be approved by the Bureau Chief's meeting. Xiaochen was stunned, then came to a realization. He nodded and said, all right, I'll call you Grandpa Ling in private. Now, let's talk about the mission. That's fine too. Seeing that Xiaochen didn't want to say anything else, Ling Tian nodded and said, my granddaughter is called Ling Qianyu. She's a first-year student at Lan City University. Ling Qianyu? Xiaochen was slightly taken aback. He couldn't help but think of that cute desk mate of his. Although they only sat together for a short period of time, she was a good girl and left a deep impression on Xiaochen. Then, Xiaochen thought of that Japanese ninja, Rin Qianxue. He had met her in the Hakanamata desert. He didn't know what happened to her after that. Was she still as obedient as before? What's wrong? Ling Tian saw that Xiaochen's expression was a little strange. It's nothing. Xiaochen shook his head, I just thought of a friend. Oh right, Bureau Chief Ling, do you want me to protect her in secret? Or does she know of my existence? She definitely wants to know. Although she's a little conflicted, it's understandable. After all, it's for her own safety and to prevent her from becoming a tool for the bad guys to blackmail me. Ling Tian said, however, she also wants to live a normal university life and doesn't want our people to keep an eye on her. I'll be honest with you, I've already sent out 2 special agents from the Supernatural Investigation Department to protect her. However, she's very conflicted and is about to start a fight with me. Ling Tian couldn't help but feel a little awkward as he said this. Oh. Since that's the case, if I were to do it, wouldn't she also? Xiaochen didn't want to be that annoying person who would put in a lot of effort without any reward. It was the same when he was protecting Su Chuxia back then. Fortunately, he was reasonable, and the 2 of them got along well. However, the same couldn't be said for Ling Tian's granddaughter. If they were to start a fight, why would Xiaochen have to go through all that trouble? It's exactly because others can't do it. Ling Tian said, firstly, you have the experience of successfully protecting other girls. I heard that you have a good relationship with Su Chuxia, the granddaughter of the Research Institute's Professor Su Inda. More importantly, you're quite young. If you sneak into the campus, no one will be able to tell that you're a bodyguard. However, although the 2 people you're protecting aren't that old and have makeup that makes them look younger, no one will be able to tell that you're a student. Alright. Xiaochen nodded, then I'll go. Alright, since you've agreed, I'll bring you over now. Ling Tian nodded gratefully. As the 2 of them spoke, they left the Supernatural Investigation Department and boarded a business car to head towards Blue City University. At the entrance, Ling Tian swiped his card and the car smoothly entered the campus. It was obvious that he was a frequent visitor. The car continued on its way until it arrived at a dormitory. On the dormitory, there was a large sign that read, "Female Dormitory." Can anyone enter this place? Xiaochen couldn't help but ask when he saw the sign that read, "Males are not allowed." Of course. This is a high-class dormitory. Every dormitory has its own washroom. No one will run around without clothes. You can enter without worry. Ling Tian said, this sign was put up after the dormitory was built. Every dormitory has one. Girls are not allowed to enter the male dormitory. Xiaochen nodded. When he was in number 1 middle school, he didn't stay in a dormitory for long, so he wasn't very familiar with these things. As the 2 of them walked into the dormitory, no one stopped them. In reality, the management of these high-class dormitories wasn't that strict. After all, every dormitory had its own lock, so it was impossible for people to peep on them. When they arrived at the door of a dormitory, Xiaochen knocked. A cautious female voice came from inside, "Who is it?" "It's me." Ling Tian said, "Little Zhao, open the door." Very quickly, the door was opened. Although little Zhao could hear Ling Tian's voice and saw that it was one of Ling Tian's people, there was still Xiaochen beside him. Thus, little Zhao's hand was already on her gun. "Bureau Chief Ling," little Zhao greeted. "Don't be nervous. This is Deputy Bureau Chief Xiaochen. He's the new Deputy Bureau Chief of the Supernatural Investigation Department." Ling Tian introduced, "How is it? Are you guys getting along well with Qinyu?" This. Little Zhao instantly felt a little awkward. It wasn't appropriate for her to say too much in front of Ling Tian. She could only change the topic and greeted Xiaochen, "Hello, Deputy Bureau Chief Xiao." "Hello." Xiaochen sized up this woman. She was in her 20s. She wasn't very pretty, but she had a shrewd and capable air about her. She should be an elite special agent. As the few of them were talking, they heard the angry voice of a girl coming from inside the room. "I say, what are you guys trying to do? Are you going to let me go to school normally? The 2 of you said that you were going to set up some infrared alarms. I can tolerate that, but what are you trying to do now? You installed so many cameras in my room. How am I supposed to live like this?" "I'm sorry, Miss Ling. The mission that we received from Bureau Chief Ling is to protect your personal safety. Thus, the cameras must be installed." We can't compromise on this. This was the voice of a man. If Ling Tian wasn't wrong, he should be the other person from the supernatural investigation department that Ling Tian mentioned. And that woman should be Ling Tian's granddaughter, Ling Qianyu. She was also the person that Xiao Chen was going to protect. However, hearing her angry words, Xiao Chen couldn't help but smile bitterly. As expected, it wasn't an easy mission. Chapter 808. When Ling Qianyu heard this person's words, she shouted angrily, "Are you kidding me? This is my bedroom, the place where I usually sleep and rest. You installed cameras everywhere. Do I still want to sleep? What if I take off my clothes at night?" The man said calmly, "Miss Ling, we have to do this to protect you. When you sleep, it's the time when you're least vigilant. It's very likely that someone will take advantage of you and kidnap you. So you're saying that the infrared alarm you set up is useless?" Ling Qianyu retorted angrily. "It's not that it's useless, but it's not that effective against experts. There are ways to avoid it," the man said. This man was indeed Xiao Zhao's partner, Xiao Wu. "That won't do. When I sleep, you can watch me. I like to sleep naked, so I won't allow it." Ling Qianyu was about to go crazy. There were so many cameras in the dormitory. If her best friend came to see her, wouldn't they find out something was wrong? Also, who would dare to come after seeing this situation? Xiao Wu replied with a smile, "Miss Ling, don't worry. Xiao Zhao is in charge of the surveillance in your bedroom. I won't look at it. She's also a woman, so it's fine." No. Ling Qianyu finally lost her patience. She can't watch it either. "I might bring my boyfriend back to spend the night. Doesn't she want to watch me perform?" "Absolutely not. Miss Ling, according to our investigation, you don't have a boyfriend," Xiao Wu said calmly. I'm a lesbian with my best friend, okay? Gay, do you understand?" Ling Qianyu was about to explode. Those two are both women. Xiao Zhao doesn't see anything wrong with it. Xiao Wu smiled. "Oh, right, I forgot to tell you. Xiao Wu seems to be gay too. She can watch it. You. I order you to take down all these things. Otherwise, I'll tell my grandfather." Ling Qianyu finally couldn't take it anymore. "I'm sorry, Miss Ling. We're just following Director Ling's orders," Xiao Wu said in a neither servile nor overbearing manner. "You." Ling Qianyu was about to go crazy. At this moment, Ling Tian pushed open the door and walked into the room. Looking at the angry Ling Qianyu, he smiled lovingly. "Qianyu, why are you angry? Aren't they doing this for your own good? Also, when did you become gay? How come Grandpa doesn't know?" "Grandpa?" Ling Qianyu didn't expect her grandpa to be here. She was busy arguing with Lil Wu in the suite and didn't hear the voices outside. As a result, she blushed. "Qianyu, they're just following my orders, and it's for your own good. They have to ensure your safety. If they don't monitor you, how can they protect you?" Ling Tian smiled as he consoled her. "But I don't have any privacy at all. I'll feel very awkward." Ling Qianyu pointed at the camera on the ceiling and said, "Grandpa, look. One is facing my bed, and the other is facing the bathroom door. I'm being monitored every day. Although Xiao Wu is a girl, I still feel uncomfortable." "That won't be necessary." Just as Ling Tian was about to speak, Xiao Chen interrupted with a smile. With a wave of his hand, the cameras fell to the ground and were placed on the bed by Xiao Chen. Ling Qianyu's eyes widened as she looked at Xiao Chen. This was also the first time Xiao Chen looked at Ling Qianyu. However, Ling Qianyu looked a little familiar to Xiao Chen, as if he had seen her somewhere before. Thinking about it carefully, it should be Ling Tian. It seemed like Ling Tian was a handsome man when he was young. This was because Ling Qianyu was very beautiful. She was a very intelligent girl. Of course, Xiaochen had already passed the age where he would be infatuated with beautiful girls. As his experience and strength grew, Xiaochen's personality also changed greatly. I'm here to replace the two of them to protect you. Xiaochen smiled. Oh. Ling Qianyu's expression changed. Don't think that you can gain my trust and goodwill just because you pretended to remove the cameras. You must be thinking of other methods. Maybe you're going to install some pinhole cameras without me noticing. I won't. Xiaochen smiled. What I need to do is familiarize myself with your living environment. After that, you can do your own things, and I'll do mine. We won't have much interaction. Really? Ling Qianyu obviously didn't believe it. Her previous experience had already told her that Xiao Wu and Xiao Zhao were also lying to her. In the end, they were still seen through by her. You'll know when you see. Xiaochen shrugged. Okay, then I'll see if you installed a pinhole camera here. Ling Qianyu nodded and stared at Xiaochen fiercely without blinking. Sure. Xiaochen didn't refuse. After saying that, he walked around the room. He walked to the east and looked to the west. Then, he seemed to be fiddling with something. He stopped at some places for a moment. No one knew what he was doing, but Ling Qianyu could see clearly that Xiaochen didn't install anything like a pinhole camera. Xiao Zhao and Xiao Wu also looked at Xiaochen strangely. They didn't understand what Xiaochen was doing. Previously, they had the same thought as Ling Qianyu, which was that Xiaochen was actually lying to her and wanted to secretly install a small camera. However, no matter how small the camera was, it could be seen when it was installed. However, Xiaochen really didn't install it. Thinking up to this point, Xiao Zhao and Xiao Wu couldn't help but suspect that Xiaochen was first confusing Ling Qianyu and waiting for her to get tired of watching before installing the camera. Even Ling Tian thought so. However, what surprised them was that at this moment, Xiaochen stood up and walked over. Okay, I'm done watching. I can leave now. Miss Ling Qianyu, please remember my phone number. If there's anything, just call me. After saying that, Xiaochen walked out of the dormitory. Ling Tian was a little curious and followed him. There was no need for Xiao Wu and Xiao Zhao to stay, so they naturally followed him out. In an instant, only Ling Qianyu was left in the room. She looked at the camera on the bed in a daze. Where did this guy come from? Just by watching for 2 rounds and not doing anything, he thought he could protect me? Wasn't he afraid that I would be kidnapped if he removed the camera? Sometimes, people were like this. They were obviously very resistant, but when someone suddenly did what they wanted, they would definitely feel that something was wrong. Right now, Ling Qianyu was like this. She even suspected that this guy wasn't really here to protect her, but was here to play. At this moment, Ling Qianyu wanted to complain to her grandfather about Xiaochen. However, after thinking about it, wasn't this the situation she wanted? Why should she complain about him? I don't care. It's best if you want to play, but don't affect my studies. If you want to protect me, that's fine, but don't try to pry into my privacy. Actually, Ling Qianyu didn't realize the seriousness of the matter at all. From her point of view, she didn't even go out in school. Why would someone kidnap her? Moreover, outside the dormitory, other than Xiao Wu and Xiao Zhao, there were many people secretly protecting her. They were all undercover agents with guns. Xiao Zhao and Xiao Wu were obviously making a mountain out of a molehill. After Xiaochen walked out of the female dormitory, Ling Tian asked curiously, Xiaochen, why didn't you make some protective measures for Qianyu? What? Xiaochen was stunned as he looked at Ling Tian in confusion. What did he mean by not making any protective measures for Qianyu? I don't think I did anything to her, right? Ling Tian looked at Xiao Chen's stunned expression and then looked at Xiao Zhao and Xiao Wu, who were trying to hold back their laughter. He immediately understood that his words had a different meaning. It was as if he was saying that Xiao Chen had made Ling Qianyu pregnant. "What I mean is, didn't you make some protective measures?" Ling Tian asked embarrassedly. "Oh, I did. It's just that you guys didn't notice." Xiao Chen smiled faintly. "You did? What did you do?" Ling Tian was shocked. "You can monitor Qianyu's room now?" "Yes." Xiao Chen nodded. He was now a golden core cultivator. According to his special ability, he now had the ability to set up a simple array. In fact, in Ling Qianyu's room, Xiao Chen had actually set up a surveillance array. It was just that no one could tell what he was doing. "Are you serious? How did you do it?" After Ling Tian asked this, he seemed to know that he had asked too much. Xiao Chen wasn't a local member of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Thus, there was no need for Xiao Chen to share some of his special methods with them. This could be Xiao Chen's own method. If he said it, not only would it cause the secret to fail in the future, but Xiao Chen also wouldn't be willing to do it. Thus, he immediately added, "It's nothing. It's good that I can see it." Xiao Chen nodded. He could use his mind to control the surveillance array to see the situation in the dormitory, but there was also a distance limit. He couldn't do it from a long distance. With Xiao Chen's current ability, it shouldn't be a problem within the campus. "Let's go. I'll handle the admission procedures for you. Little Wu and Little Zhao will also handle the withdrawal procedures," Ling Tian said. "Okay." Xiao Chen had no objection. Little Wu and Little Zhao were relieved at the same time. The two of them were responsible for protecting Miss Ling, and it was really uncomfortable. This wasn't an easy job. Because of Ling Tian's identity, the procedures were very easy. Xiao Chen was directly placed in the preparatory class of Lan City University. The so-called preparatory class was a preschool class held by the university before the first year. Generally, students who met certain conditions participated in this preparatory class and successfully entered the university in the second year. It just so happened that Xiao Chen didn't want to directly learn the first-year curriculum. It wouldn't be connected at all. It was already April, and the current first-year students were about to enter the second year. Chapter 809. After completing the procedures, Ling Tian arranged an independent dormitory for Xiao Chen. It wasn't far from Ling Qianyu's dormitory. The two buildings could be said to be quite far away from each other. Xiao Wu used to live here as well. "Xiao Chen, I'll leave Qianyu's safety to you. We'll go back first." "Thank you," Ling Tian said. "Chief Ling, you're too polite. This is also my job. I'll try my best." Xiao Chen didn't say anything like "don't worry" or "I'll definitely complete the mission." After all, the other party could be from the internal martial arts world. If that was the case, Xiao Chen wouldn't be a match for them. "Okay, I'll leave it to you." Ling Tian patted Xiao Chen's shoulder. In the following days, Xiao Chen stayed in the male dormitory. However, Xiao Chen didn't come here to attend classes. He came here to protect Ling Qianyu. Therefore, he didn't even leave his room. He only went out to buy some things during meals. Ling Qianyu realized that after Xiao Chen came that day, he really didn't appear again. This made her very puzzled. Could it be that Xiao Chen really wasn't playing hard to get? Could it be that he really didn't want to install surveillance cameras in her room? Although Ling Qianyu was a girl, because of her family background, she knew a lot of things. She had professional surveillance cameras in her hands. Because the dormitory was already renovated, it was impossible to rewire it. Therefore, no matter what kind of camera it was, it needed to be wirelessly transmitted. However, after she measured it, she found that there really wasn't any wireless transmission equipment. Therefore, she was a little puzzled. What on earth was Xiao Chen doing? Could it be that this guy was different from Xiao Zhao and Xiao Wu from before? Was he not responsible at all? Was he just fooling around and didn't care about her safety at all? Ling Qianyu felt that it was a good thing that there wasn't anyone monitoring her every day. However, this was a critical time. She was really afraid that someone would harm her. If they didn't monitor her closely, they should at least protect her from afar, right? However, there was none of that. She didn't even see Xiao Chen for the past few days. She even knew that when Xiao Wu and Xiao Zhao were protecting her, Xiao Wu used his binoculars to monitor her every day. In the opposite dormitory, Xiao Wu's room was facing Ling Qianyu's room. Although he couldn't see the bed, he could see the desk. However, Ling Qianyu realized that ever since Xiao Chen moved in, he hadn't used his binoculars at all. Every time Ling Qianyu sat in front of the desk to read, she would look in the opposite direction subconsciously. In the past, she used to close the curtains because she didn't want Lil Wu and the others to see, but now she realized that the curtains opposite her were drawn. Moreover, he would turn off the lights early at night. Later on, Ling Qianyu paid special attention to it. She realized that Xiao Chen's daily life was very regular. Basically, when she went to class in the morning, Xiao Chen would come out for breakfast. Although they would bump into each other, Xiao Chen would never deliberately look at her. At noon, when she went to the cafeteria for lunch, Xiao Chen would go too. At night, when she was out of school, she would see Xiao Chen. However, Xiao Chen didn't seem to go to class. Ling Qianyu saw that he was either eating or returning to the dormitory. Ling Qianyu was a little speechless. Was this guy here to waste his time? This was what she was looking forward to, but why did it feel so awkward? Thinking of this, Ling Qianyu couldn't help but call out to Xiao Chen several times. She wanted to ask him if he was here to protect her or on vacation. But thinking about it, wasn't she being cheap? She didn't want to be monitored and protected. What Xiao Chen was doing was exactly what she wanted. What else could she ask? However, as time went by, she couldn't take it anymore. One day, she saw Xiao Chen buy a bunch of food and go back to the dormitory. Not long after he went upstairs, he turned off the lights and went to bed. Ling Qianyu finally couldn't take it anymore. She picked up the phone and dialed Xiao Chen's number. Xiao Chen returned to reality from his cultivation, but he was a little puzzled. Ling Qianyu was fine and didn't encounter any danger. Why did she call him? Out of politeness, Xiao Chen still picked up the phone. Miss Ling, what's the matter? Xiao Chen, I want to ask you, how do you work? Why can't I see you even once? Ling Qianyu asked. Oh, Miss Ling, isn't this as you wish? Xiao Chen smiled and said, don't like me hanging around you, and you don't like being monitored? But my grandfather sent you here, not for you to take a vacation. You are not as responsible as the agents who protect me on the periphery. Ling Qianyu said angrily, although I don't like being monitored, this isn't a reason for you to slack off. Oh. Xiao Chen replied, how do you know that I'm slacking off? You don't pay attention to me. If something happens to me, how would you know? Ling Qianyu asked. Oh, I'll appear when you call me. Xiao Chen said. You. Ling Qianyu was stunned. Do you think you're Aladdin's magic lamp? You're on call. Oh, that's about it. Xiao Chen said. You. Ling Qianyu really didn't know what to say. Do whatever you want. Anyway, if something happens to me, my grandfather will definitely not let you go. Oh, you can try if you don't believe me. Xiao Chen said lightly. How? I'm caught, and then experimented? It'll be too late by then. Ling Qianyu said angrily. For example, when you're in danger, shout my name, and I'll definitely appear. Xiao Chen smiled. Big liar. Ling Qianyu snorted coldly and hung up the phone. Xiao Chen shook his head, put the phone aside, and entered the state of cultivation again. He had just broken through the gold core stage, and he had to consolidate his strength. Now that he had used up all the cultivation resources, it was especially difficult to consolidate his strength. Therefore, Xiaochen missed the previous adventures. No wonder even many martial artists were enthusiastic about all kinds of adventures. They could really get some benefits from them. Ling Qianyu took a bath and lay on the bed. She suddenly found it very boring. In the past, she left little Wu and little Zhao like a thief. She didn't dare to do this after taking a bath. She only wore a bath towel and lay on the bed. Her breasts and legs were half exposed, and she wrapped them tightly. But now, no one could see them. She felt uncomfortable. In fact, it was also because of her resentment towards people like Xiaochen who used the name of work to come to vacation. Ah! Xiaochen, help! Ah! Suddenly, Ling Qianyu remembered what Xiaochen said before, so she tried to shout. Of course, she didn't think that Xiaochen would appear, because it was impossible. But Ling Qianyu was still looking forward to whether someone would knock on the door. Whoosh! With a sound, the curtain was pulled open. Xiaochen directly pushed the window open and jumped into Ling Qianyu's room. He asked, "What's wrong?" Ah! Ling Qianyu saw Xiaochen suddenly appear, and this time, she shouted even louder and more frightened. She never thought that Xiaochen would come in through the window, and so quickly. The two dormitory buildings were at least a few hundred meters apart, and there was a stadium in the middle. Even if Xiaochen was a high-level cultivator, he couldn't jump over, but, along with the shock, Ling Qianyu subconsciously waved her hands and legs a few times. As a result, the towel on her body fell to the ground, revealing her fair skin. Ling Qianyu's skin was very white, and she was a classic Oriental beauty. Her chest wasn't very big, but her figure was very well proportioned. Especially her pair of smooth and long legs, it made her look tall and graceful. If she wore a cheongsam, Ling Qianyu would definitely be very beautiful. What's wrong with you? Did the cucumber break in your body? I don't see why you need me to save your life. Xiaochen didn't look at Ling Qianyu too much. After all, she was Ling Tian's granddaughter, but he still teased her a little. Looking at the current situation, it was easy to guess that Ling Qianyu was bored and wanted to test if it worked. As for Xiaochen, he subconsciously flew over. He was in the middle of cultivating, so he didn't pay much attention to the surveillance spell formation. He only used his divine sense to sense the movements in the area. If someone entered, they wouldn't be able to do so quietly. Thus, when he heard Ling Qianyu's cry, he didn't take a second look and flew over on his flying sword. After all, no one would notice him at night. Furthermore, Xiaochen's speed was very fast. Even if someone saw him, they would think that he was just seeing things. In the end, this was the scene he saw the moment he entered. Of course, Xiaochen didn't feel awkward. This was Ling Qianyu's own fault, so what did it have to do with him? Although Xiaochen sympathized with Ling Qianyu, as Ling Tian's granddaughter, she didn't have much freedom. At the same time, he felt that she was a little immature. While little Wu and little Zhao's actions made him feel uncomfortable, it was for her own good. There was no need to reject them so fiercely. Wasn't it just a surveillance camera? Actually, this was also because Xiaochen was a guy and not a girl. After all, which decent girl would agree to have a bunch of surveillance cameras installed in their bedroom? Of course, Xiaochen might not think that it was a problem, but to Ling Qianyu, it was a serious problem. Ling Qianyu calmed down after hearing what Xiaochen said. She immediately grabbed a blanket from the side and covered herself with it. She glared at Xiaochen angrily. "What are you doing? Why did you enter my room so casually and peek at me? Didn't you ask me to come?" Xiaochen frowned. "I was just saying casually. Who knew that you would come so quickly? Also, you didn't knock on the door." Ling Qianyu instantly felt a little depressed. She was indeed the one who asked Xiaochen to come, but who knew that he would appear in such a way? If the person you met was a bad guy, I would have come slower and knocked on the door. Then, would have missed the opportunity. Xiaochen said. Also, I told you very clearly before that I would come over if you called me. How would I know that you were experimenting? You. Ling Qianyu suddenly felt a sense of helplessness. Yes, what Xiaochen said was right. Moreover, he did tell her that before. She was willing to experiment, so who could be blamed? However, she was a little puzzled. You installed a bug in my room? Chapter 8:10. No, you checked it so many times. If there was a bug, wouldn't you have found it? Xiaochen said faintly. You know I checked it. Ling Qianyu was even more surprised. How did you see it? You installed a camera? Can you not ask such an idiotic question? If I don't have some special means, how can I be the deputy director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau? Xiaochen said, all right, I don't have time to play with a little kid like you. If there's nothing else, I'm leaving. You are the kid. Ling Qianyu was infuriated by Xiaochen. She suddenly thought of an important question and said in surprise, what did you say? You are the deputy director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau? Really? Ling Qianyu naturally knew that although the deputy director was one level lower than her grandfather, the newly appointed director, it was almost the same. Even her grandfather couldn't order the deputy director to do anything. Everything had to be discussed. And Xiaochen is so young. He seems to be around the same age as me. He is actually the deputy director. No wonder this person is so undisciplined. He isn't afraid of her grandfather at all. But, how did he know about my situation? Ling Qianyu observed Xiaochen for a while, and she didn't see any abnormalities from him. Yes, really. All right, if there's nothing else, I'm leaving. Xiaochen wanted to leave before Ling Qianyu blamed him for looking at her body. Otherwise, it would be very embarrassing. Oh yeah, you are not allowed to tell others about what happened just now. You can't say that you looked at me. Ling Qianyu really remembered this time. I didn't see anything. My eyes have an automatic filter function. After Xiaochen finished, he opened the window and jumped out. AI? Ling Qianyu was stunned. This is the 4th floor, however, when she got off the bed and walked to the window sill, there was no one outside. She subconsciously wanted to look downstairs to see if there was anyone. Suddenly, from the corner of her eye, she saw Xiaochen's dormitory across the street. The lights had suddenly turned on. Not only that, but Ling Qianyu also saw a figure standing on the opposite window sill. It vaguely looked like Xiaochen. She grabbed the binoculars on the windowsill and looked over. To her surprise, she saw Xiaochen grinning at her. Ling Qianyu rubbed her eyes in disbelief. If it wasn't for the fact that she clearly remembered that Xiaochen had been here just now, she would have thought that she was dreaming. After all, how could Xiaochen be so fast and appear on the opposite side in an instant? Shaking her head, Ling Qianyu couldn't figure it out. She closed the curtains and turned off the lights. She felt that Xiaochen was a little too strange. How could he appear just like that? In the dark, Xiaochen shouldn't be able to see her, right? She lowered her voice and almost mouthed, Xiaochen, you big bastard, come hit me if you can. Forget it. Suddenly, Xiaochen's voice came from the windowsill. Ah! Ling Qianyu's heart almost exploded. Xiaochen, you bastard. How did you hear that? I heard it when you said it, said Xiaochen. This doesn't make sense. Ling Qianyu was going crazy. If there's nothing else, I'm leaving. After saying that, Xiaochen went silent. Ling Qianyu got up quickly and went to the windowsill. Looking out, she saw Xiaofan waving at her from the window a few hundred meters away. Oh my God! He's not even as good as Xiao Wu and Xiao Zhao. I'm going crazy. Ling Qianyu grabbed her hair. Am I crazy? Ling Qianyu closed the curtains and didn't even dare to talk. She lay on the bed and fell asleep. In a Japanese club in Lon City, two people were sitting on both sides of the coffee table. Mr. Yi Dao, you know who I am. So, I won't treat you badly for this cooperation. Sitting on the right side of the coffee table was a young man in white. His arrogance was written all over his face, as if he was always superior to others. Yes, young Master Xing, Yi Dao Kikuo was a person who wandered between the martial arts world and the Jianghu organization. He was an ambitious person. To be able to be so respectful to the person in front of him, it was obvious that the person in front of him was not an ordinary person. But young Master Xing, I'm afraid you also know that it's very difficult for us to set up a research institute after our previous failure. During this period of time, Night Island Incubus lay low and did not dare to cause any more trouble. Nominally, he was no longer in Lon City. In reality, he was secretly living in seclusion. Meanwhile, Ling Qianxue was sent out to do some missions to earn some money and heavenly treasures. No one knew how young Master Xing got in touch with Yi Dao Kikuo and wanted to cooperate with him. With the support of the internal martial arts world, what are you afraid of? Young Master Xing sneered with disdain. Mr. Yi Dao, you have to understand that if you miss this opportunity to cooperate with us, you will have no fate with the internal martial arts world in the future. It will be impossible for you to go any further in the future. I understand. I also hope to cooperate with you, but it should be within my capabilities, right? Yi Dao Kikuo smiled bitterly. The current security of the research institute is very tight. Trying to barge in is undoubtedly courting death, Yi Dao Kikuo muttered in his heart. If it's so easy, why do you people of the internal martial arts world have such good skills? What do you want me to do? Isn't it because we can get our hands on some guns and cannons? Even so, we will only be cannon fodder. When the time comes, we will all be dead. How can we talk about the follow-up benefits? Hehe, I know that to you, the internal martial arts world of Great Xia has always been very mysterious. There are some martial arts secret manuals that you want the most. This is not a problem. I can guarantee that as long as you get your hands on the refinement method of the meteoric iron, I will help you obtain these secret manuals. Young Master Xing said slowly. Oh? Is this for real? Young Master Xing, do you mean what you say? Yi Dao Kikuo's eyes lit up. He had been coveting the martial arts of the internal martial arts world for a long time. Those things of the external martial arts world were no secret. Yi Dao Kikuo had gotten his hands on some of them, but to be honest, they were not very useful in improving his ninjutsu. Furthermore, the organization was rather dissatisfied with his recent failures. If he could get his hands on the secret manuals of the internal martial arts world, it would definitely be a great contribution. Thinking of this, he had already made his decision. Of course, I mean what I say. Young Master Xing laughed. Actually, the whole thing is not as complicated as you think. According to our investigations, the current head of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, Ling Tian's granddaughter is studying at Lon City University. When the time comes, all you have to do is kidnap her and you can get whatever information you want. Chapter 8:11. Oh. Nishima Kikuo was taken aback and frowned. If it's so simple, why don't you just kidnap her? What else do you need from us? It's very simple. Although we, the inner martial arts circle, are strong, we still can't do whatever we want in the secular world. This is not because we are afraid, but because we have an agreement within the inner martial arts circle that we can't meddle in the affairs of the secular world. Young Master Xing said, that's why I need to borrow your hands and commit the crime under the name of the Japanese. There was something that young Master Xing did not say. The method of refining the meteoric metal was a secret that no one dared to approach. If he could get his hands on it secretly, he could use it to make friends with other sects when he returned to his sect. For now, only young Master Xing knew about this. If he made a big move and other people in the martial world found out about it, they would flock to him and he would have nothing to do with it. As for the actions of the Japanese, not many people would pay attention to them. Even if they knew, they would think that it was for money. After many choices, young Master Xing finally found Nishima Kikuo. I understand. Since that's the case, there's no problem. Nishima Kikuo nodded. When do we act? The sooner the better. Young Master Xing was afraid that a long delay would bring trouble. There was no such thing as an impenetrable wall in the world. It was just a matter of time. He had to act as soon as possible. I think we can do it tonight. Tonight. All right. Nishima Kikuo gritted his teeth and said to Ling Qianxue, who was pouring tea, Ling Qianxue, go and kidnap Ling Tian's granddaughter. Can she complete the mission? Yes, Master Nishima. Ling Qianxue nodded immediately. Looking at her strength, she seems to be a martial master at most. She just broke through not too long ago. Can she do it? Young Master Xing looked at Ling Qianxue and said with disdain. Isn't a martial master enough to deal with a girl who doesn't even have the strength to truss a chicken? Nishima Kikuo laughed. It's just a kidnapping. If we send out a high-level expert, wouldn't that be against young Master Xing's original intention? In the secular world, a martial master is already a very powerful existence. Well, you're right. Then I'll wait for your good news. Young Master Xing nodded and said, after you kidnap her, just detain her. Don't do anything, and don't hurt her. Wait for my news, and when I tell you to release her, just do it. Although young Master Xing came from the martial arts world, he didn't want to have a bad relationship with the Supernatural Investigation Bureau in the secular world. After all, every level had its own rules. The Supernatural Investigation Bureau strictly forbade them from interfering with the affairs of the secular world. If it weren't for the fact that the refining method of the extraterrestrial meteorite iron was so tempting, young Master Xing wouldn't have taken the risk to come here. Therefore, now that he had obtained the item, he naturally wouldn't hurt Ling Qianyu. He would just let her go. Of course, no problem. Young Master Xing didn't want to hurt Ling Qianyu, but Yakushima Kikuo didn't want to hurt Ling Qianyu either. If he really hurt Ling Qianyu, young Master Xing could just go back to the inner martial arts world, but Yakushima Kikuo would be in deep trouble. Even if he escaped back to the island, there would definitely be an endless number of agents to assassinate him. He did not want to live this kind of life. Please give me the information on the kidnappers. Ling Qianxue said. Here it is. Young Master Xing was already prepared. He handed a set of information to Ling Qianxue. Although Ling Qianxue was masked, she had a voluptuous figure. Young Master Xing didn't even look at her. What a strange person. Ling Qianxue took the information and looked at it. But when she saw Ling Qianyu's name, she couldn't help but be startled. Ling Qianyu? What a strange name. But then Ling Qianxue continued to look at the information. The information was very simple. After all, the target was not a complicated person. He didn't have any strength, and he lived alone in the dormitory. This kind of person was the easiest to deal with. He had no roommates, and even if he disappeared, no one would find out. Okay, I understand. I will go now. Ling Qianxue nodded and started to move. A few shuttles disappeared into the night. Young Master Xing, I wish us success. Yakushima Kikuo took out a bottle of red wine. I don't like this stuff. I like to drink white wine. Young Master Xing frowned. To him, red wine of any year was bitter and hard to swallow. People of the inner martial arts world still liked white wine. Well said. I have Maotai here. Yakashima Kikuo said as he put the red wine back into the wine cabinet. Then, he took out a bottle of Maotai and opened it. Only then did young Master Xing nod in satisfaction. Ling Qianxue disappeared into the night. Soon, she arrived at Lancheng University. At this time, Ling Qianxue was dressed like a student. She was dressed in sportswear with a youthful ponytail. She also wore a pair of exquisite glasses and had headphones plugged in her ears. She leisurely walked into Lancheng University. Because Lancheng University was not a completely closed school, and today was a weekend, there were still students shuttling around the campus even though it was already past 10 o'clock in the evening. Some were dating, some were returning to school, and some were sneaking out for a one-night stand. Ling Qianxue walked into the female dormitory without any questioning. Even a guy like Xiaofan could enter during the day, let alone a girl dressed like a student. Walking into the building, Ling Qianxue walked up the stairs lightly and arrived at the door of room 432. But she didn't knock on the door. She took out the master key from her pocket and quickly opened the door. However, she didn't make any sound during the process. The door opened and Ling Qianxue tiptoed in. At this time, Ling Qianxue was half asleep. She was tortured by Xiaofan to the point of insanity. Just when she was about to fall asleep, she suddenly felt as if someone had entered. Ling Qianxue subconsciously called out, "Xiaofan, what are you doing here again?" This was almost like sleep talking, but it gave Ling Qianxue a big shock. Xiaofan came. Where was Xiaofan? How did Ling Qianxue know Xiaofan? Although she was the granddaughter of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau's chief Ling Tian, she shouldn't know Xiaofan. But in the next moment, Ling Qianxue knew that Ling Qianxue was sleep-talking because Ling Qianxue was already lying on the bed. Slightly relieved, Ling Qianxue carefully walked to Ling Qianxue's bed. But before she reached it, she suddenly stopped and her hair stood on end. Because, she felt someone pat her from behind. Was it an illusion? Ling Qianxue was sure that when she entered the room, she closed the door and Ling Qianxue's room was a suite. She could clearly see what was in the living room and there was no one there. And this person patted Ling Qianxue and then stopped patting her. This made Ling Qianxue feel that it was an illusion, so she turned around to see what was behind her. But when she turned around, she realized that there was no one behind her. She patted her chest. It was indeed an illusion. But before her heart completely calmed down, she felt someone pat her from behind again. Ling Qianxue shivered. This time, it felt more real. If it was an illusion just now, it was definitely not an illusion now that she was on guard. Subconsciously turning around, Ling Qianxue screamed, "Ah, hello Xueqian, what's your name?" Xiaofan asked. Where did you come from?" Ling Qianxue was about to go crazy this time. When she came in, Xiaofan wasn't there. Then, he suddenly appeared out of nowhere and almost scared her to death. Originally, Ling Qianxue was about to fall asleep and was half awake when Xiaofan came again. In the end, she was startled awake by Ling Qianxue's scream. She immediately opened her eyes and saw two people standing in front of her. She also let out a series of, Xiaofan. Why are you here again? And you brought someone else? What do you want? Ling Qianxue still didn't realize that this Ling Qianxue was here to kidnap her. She thought that Xiaofan brought her along with him. "Oh, there's a thief in your room. I'm here to catch her." Xiaofan pointed at Ling Qianxue and said. Thief? You don't know her?" Ling Qianxue immediately became vigilant. She looked at Ling Qianxue with an unfriendly gaze, even though she turned on the light in the room. "I kind of know her, but she came uninvited. You can't say we're friends." Xiaofan said lightly, she was the one who went to the research center to steal the information. Ah. Then catch her. Ling Qianxue was shocked. This time, she realized how good it was for Xiao Chen to appear in her room in an instant. Xueqian, please. I don't have to do anything, right? Xiao Chen said lightly. Ah. Ling Qianxue didn't think she would be so unlucky to meet Xiao Chen. She was definitely no match for Xiao Chen. She wasn't before, and she probably wasn't now. Although Xiao Chen didn't release his power, Ling Qianxue felt that Xiao Chen's ability to appear and disappear was even better than before in the Hakunamata desert. You sleep, I'll go to the outer room with her. Xiao Chen made a gesture and let Ling Qianxue return to the outer room. Then, he closed the door and set up a soundproof array. How could Ling Qianxue fall asleep? She put on her pajamas and climbed out of bed. Then, she stood at the door of the inner room and listened carefully for any movements outside. However, she couldn't hear anything. Could it be that Xiao Chen had left? However, it wasn't appropriate for Ling Qianxue to push the door open. After all, she knew that Xiao Chen might be interrogating Xueqian. Even if she was Ling Tian's granddaughter, it wasn't appropriate for her to pry into such secrets. Speak, why are you here? Are you here to kidnap Ling Qianxue? Xiao Chen sat on the sofa and rested his head on the back of the sofa as he looked at Ling Qianxue. Actually, Ling Qianxue was only a few meters away from the door. If she wanted to escape, she could. However, she didn't dare to because she felt that no matter how she ran, Xiao Chen would be able to catch her. Now that it seemed like Xiao Chen didn't have the intention to kill her, there was no need for Ling Qianxue to run. Chapter 8:12. Yes. Ling Qianxue didn't hide it. You're a straightforward person. Xiao Chen was a little surprised. Would you believe me if I said it wasn't? Ling Qianxue glared at Xiao Chen. Why are you here every time? I was just about to say this to you. Xiao Chen said lightly, tell me, who sent you here? That idiot Yorishima Kikuo wouldn't do such a daring thing, unless he's crazy. Humph, you know I won't tell you. Ling Qianxue said stubbornly. Oh, the current me is different from before. Back in the Hakuna Mata desert, we could be said to be partners. There are some things I don't want to force you, but now. Xiao Chen sized up Ling Qianxue and said calmly, I haven't touched a woman in a long time. Your figure looks pretty good. You are a senior agent of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. How can you do this? Ling Qianxue heard Xiao Chen's words and opened her eyes wide in disbelief. I'm sorry, the Supernatural Investigation Bureau and I are just partners. Xiao Chen smiled and said, I killed the previous deputy director, Yang Jiannan, and then I took over his position. What can't I do? You. Ling Qianxue looked at Xiao Chen in disbelief. Xiao Chen didn't say much. He stood up and walked over. He reached out and hooked Ling Qianxue's chin. With an almost humiliating posture and attitude, he said, Don't think of me as a kind person. You know I've killed a lot of people. Humph, then come at me. It's my honor to sacrifice myself for the Sakura group. Ling Qianxue's attitude suddenly became tough. Oh, okay. After IF*CKU first, I'll go and kill that Yorishima Kikuo. With his strength, I can kill him easily. You know that. Xiao Chen said lightly, since you don't want to tell me, I'm too lazy to investigate. Kill him and I'll complete the mission. Don't. Ling Qianxue was finally moved. Although she was very afraid of Yorishima Kishio, the brainwashing training in the organization had taught her to be absolutely loyal to her superiors. So, if Xiao Chen wanted to kill Yorishima Kishio, she had to step forward. Oh, if you don't tell me, I can only kill him, Xiao Chen said. Fine, I'll tell you, but you can't do anything to us. Ling Qianxue clenched her teeth. It depends on my mood. Xiaochen let go of Ling Qianxue's chin. A man from the inner Wulin called young Master Xing made us do it. Ling Qianxue said. As expected of the inner martial world. Xiaochen nodded, but this information wasn't very useful to him. What's the name of young Master Xing? What do you do in the inner martial arts world? I don't know about that. He didn't say anything. He just secretly showed something to Lord Yidao, so Lord Yidao cooperated with him. Ling Qianxue said. Oh, then what is the strength of this young Master Xing? Xiaochen asked. I can't tell. Ling Qianxue shook her head. Oh, okay. Then you can go back. Xiaochen waved his hand and said, then bring a message to young Master Xing, tell him that I'm here, so he should give up and go back to where he came from. Don't waste time. Oh. You're letting me go? Ling Qianxue looked at Xiaochen in disbelief. What, you want to stay here for the night? Don't think that just because you're Ling Qianxue, you're related to Ling Qianyu. Xiaochen frowned impatiently. Suddenly, he thought of something and said, wait, why are you called Ling Qianxue? I don't know. I organized it. Speaking of this, Ling Qianxue couldn't help but frown. Then, she returned to normal and said, why do you care so much? Don't you want to have sex with me? Come on. Oh, forget it. I don't like to torment someone who's like a corpse. Xiaochen waved his hand and said, if I tell you to go, then go. Don't waste time. If you don't go, I'll go with you to kill that Night Island butcher. Humph. Ling Qianxue got up and quickly flashed out of the dormitory. The next moment, Xiaochen put away the soundproof array and knocked on the inner room door and said, it's okay. You can rest. I'm going back too. Click. Unexpectedly, Ling Qianyu's bedroom door opened. Ling Qianyu's little head appeared and said, wait, Xiaochen, is there anything else? Xiaochen asked. Today. Thank you. Ling Qianyu said, if you didn't come, I might have been taken away by her. Although on the surface, Ling Qianxue didn't look like a bad person, Ling Qianyu knew very well that one couldn't judge a book by its cover. Previously, Xiao Zhao and Xiao Wu didn't seem very powerful, but they were the elites of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. This is what I should do. You don't have to thank me. I promised your grandfather. Xiaochen waved his hand. Oh, it's so late. You're still working. Are you hungry? I have biscuits here. Ling Qianyu said. She felt that she had misunderstood Xiaochen. Xiaochen was actually trying very hard to protect her. It was just that the way he protected her was relatively secretive, so she didn't notice it. No need. Xiaochen was anxious to see Ling Qianxue. Although he had set up a simple monitoring array on Ling Qianxue, this thing had a distance. Because of the rush, it wasn't as perfect as Ling Qianyu's. You're leaving? Ling Qianyu saw that Xiaochen couldn't wait to leave and was a little confused. If there's nothing else, I'll be leaving first. As Xiaochen said this, he quickly walked out of the room and closed the door. You. Ling Qianyu was a little angry. It wasn't easy for her to put down her pride and wanted to make up with him. She wanted to treat him to a midnight snack and talk. In the future, their relationship would be a little more harmonious. Who knew that Xiaochen would just leave like this? Ling Qianxue left Lancheng University and came to a back street. She quickly got on a motorcycle and sped forward. However, this was nothing for Xiaochen, who was flying in the air. Perhaps she was afraid that Xiaochen was following her, so Ling Qianxue didn't take a straight path. Instead, she took a few detours, which made Xiaochen in the air very funny. After running a few laps, Ling Qianxue stopped and looked around vigilantly. Then, she said slowly, Xiaochen, come out. I didn't expect you to be able to keep up with me. If it wasn't for Xiaochen being on top of her head, looking at Ling Qianxue's expression at this moment, he might really think that he had been discovered. However, Ling Qianxue looked left and right, but she didn't raise her head. So, she was definitely tricking him. Ling Qianxue said with a mocking expression, "Xiaochen, I admit that your speed is very fast. You can even keep up with me even when I took such a detour. However, don't forget that my motorcycle has a rear-view mirror." Xiaochen also looked at Ling Qianxue with a mocking expression as he talked to himself. After a while, Ling Qianxue was a little surprised because Xiaochen still hadn't come out. Could it be that Xiaochen really didn't follow her? After pondering for a moment, Ling Qianxue got on the motorcycle and rushed forward. However, after galloping for about a kilometer or so, she made a difficult U-turn. With a screeching sound, the motorcycle sped backward and went back the way it came. If Xiaochen really followed her, he would definitely be caught unprepared. However, Xiaochen was just leisurely watching from above. Ling Qianxue returned to the previous place, but she didn't see Xiaochen's shadow. At this moment, she finally believed that Xiaochen didn't follow her. Only then did she ride the motorcycle to the previous East Asian Guild Hall. After Ling Qianxue entered the guild hall, she stood at the door. She didn't immediately go in to report. Instead, she looked at the scene outside the guild hall through the electronic surveillance. If Xiaochen followed her, he would definitely be hiding nearby. As a matter of fact, Xiaochen had really followed them here, and he was indeed hiding nearby. However, the place where Xiaochen was hiding was above the guild hall. Ling Qianxue couldn't see anything from the surveillance. It seems that he really didn't follow me. That's strange. Ling Qianxue shook her head and turned to report to Nishima Kikuo. Ling Qianxue, you're back. Nishima Kikuo saw that Ling Qianxue came back so quickly and was a little confused. Did you succeed? No. Ling Qianxue knelt on one knee. I'm sorry, Lord Nishima. Ling Qianyu was protected by Xiaochen. I was no match for him. Please punish me, Lord. What? Xiaochen protected her. Nishima Kikuo's eyes widened. He subconsciously remembered the scene where he was beaten half to death by Xiaochen's group. Especially that Wang Fantian, he was really a freaking weirdo. Yes, I'm incompetent. I was no match for Xiaochen. Ling Qianxue said. Wait, do you think this Xiaochen is the recently rumored demon sect leader of the outer martial arts? Young Master Xing suddenly interrupted Ling Qianxue when he heard the name Xiaochen. Demon sect leader of the outer martial arts? What's that? Nishima Kikuo had never heard of it before. I only know that he is now the deputy director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. As for the outer martial arts, I have no information. Oh? Deputy director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau? Then there's no mistake. Young Master Xing pinched his chin and smacked his lips. Things are getting interesting. This Xiaochen cannot be killed yet. Otherwise, if I were to make a move, I would be able to kill him in a matter of minutes. Why? Nishima Kikuo hated Xiaochen to the core. If there was a chance to kill Xiaochen, of course, he would not let it go. However, from what young Master Xing said, it seemed like he did not want to make a move and was worried about something. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. This involves some of our sect secrets. Young Master Xing said lightly. Since Ling Qianyu has someone protecting her, then forget it. Don't mess with Xiaochen. You are no match for him. This. Alright, then our cooperation is over? Although Yorishima Kikuo felt a little regretful, he would rather kill Xiaochen than let him deal with him. Why? Isn't there still the Research Institute? Young Master Xing smiled. Previously, I did not want to make a move on the Research Institute. But now. I have a good idea. What idea? Nishima Kikuo asked doubtfully. I can't tell you the details now. I have to ask the sect first. Young Master Xing waved his hand. Hehe, if this plan succeeds, it will be killing two birds with one stone. Chapter 8:13. Yukio didn't know what was going on, but he didn't dare to ask. On the roof, Xiaochen saw everything clearly. However, he was a little puzzled. Why didn't young Master Xing make a move when he heard that it was him? Was his identity as the demon sect leader of the Outer Wulin so useful? Even the people of the Inner Wulin didn't dare to act rashly? That shouldn't be the case. The demon sect leader was created by the Qishan sect and had nothing to do with the Inner Wulin. Although Xiao Chen's strength was equivalent to that of a demon king, not many people knew about it. Even if he was a demon king, the Inner Wulin didn't need to be afraid of him. Besides, what did young Master Xing mean by killing two birds with one stone? Just as Xiao Chen was pondering, young Master Xing's eyes suddenly locked onto Ling Qianxue. He suddenly reached out and tore off Ling Qianxue's outer clothes. Rip! Ling Qianxue's clothes were torn to shreds. Luckily, she was dressed like a student today and had a shirt underneath, so she wasn't exposed. However, she was still scared out of her wits. Young Master Xing, you've been tampered with. Young Master Xing frowned. The pile of clothes in his hand instantly turned to ashes. He looked coldly at Ling Qianxue, not in the mood to admire her exquisite figure. He asked coldly, other than Xiao Chen, who else did you see? Who did you fight with? I met Xiao Chen just now, but I didn't fight. Ling Qianxue said strangely, what did he do to me? I don't know what it is, but there's a fluctuation of qi on your clothes. Young Master Xing said, although I don't know what qi is used for, it's most likely to be used for positioning. Qi? Yukio looked at young Master Xing strangely. The peak of martial arts can produce qi. Outer Wulin only trains the body. Even demon cultivators only produce demon qi to achieve their goals. That's different from qi. Young Master Xing said, you don't need to know too much about this. Someone can actually use qi. Could it be that someone from our side has come? That's not good. You mean someone from the Inner Wulin? Yukio asked. That's right. Only the inner martial artists have true qi. The outer martial artists don't have it. At this point, young Master Xing shook his head. If someone from the inner martial world really came, with your insignificant strength, you wouldn't be able to sense it. It's normal for him to do something to you. Then, what should we do now? Have we been exposed? Nishima Kikuo was a little scared. He could not afford to offend any martial arts master. I'll go take a look. Young Master Xing said as he quickly walked out of the hall. Xiao Chen didn't expect young Master Xing to be able to see what he did to Ling Qianxue. Although he didn't see what it was enough to prove that this person wasn't simple. Xiao Chen didn't stay any longer and directly stepped onto his flying sword and flew away. By the time young Master Xing came out, Xiao Chen had already returned to his dormitory in Lanqing University. This guy looked around for a long time but didn't see anyone. Shaking his head, he could only go back. Perhaps they've only set up some divine sense marks, but they haven't had the time to track us. Fortunately, I destroyed them in time, otherwise it would be troublesome. Young Master Xing could only comfort himself and hope that the situation was the same. That's good. Nishima Kikuo let out a sigh of relief. Then I'll wait for news from young Master Xing. Nishima Kikuo stood up and walked upstairs. Obviously, he wanted to contact the sect, but he wanted to avoid Nishima Kikuo. This was understandable. Not long after Xiao Chen returned to his dormitory, he received a call from Ling Tian. Grandpa Ling, it's so late, why are you calling? Xiao Chen was startled. He saw that Ling Tian had already arrived at Ling Qianyu's dormitory. At this moment, Ling Qianyu was sitting on the sofa and talking to him about something. Xiaochen, I really can't thank you enough for tonight's matter. I'm in Qianyu's dormitory right now. If you don't have anything to do, why don't you come over? Ling Tian said. Okay, I'll come over now. Xiaochen hung up the phone. This time, he didn't fly over. Instead, he went down the normal way, passed through the sports field, and entered Qianyu's dormitory. He knocked on the door. Very quickly, the door was opened by Ling Tian. However, Qianyu sneered, "Humph. You can clearly come in yourself, but you still need someone to open the door. Furthermore, you're so slow. My grandpa called 15 minutes ago, and you only came now. If someone was pretending to be my grandpa, I would have already been taken away." Xiaochen was startled. He looked at Qianyu with a strange expression. Why did this girl seem to hate him? Could it be that she was like this because he rejected her good intentions? A woman's heart was truly unfathomable. Before, Qianyu wanted nothing more than for him to stay as far away from her as possible. However, Xiaochen couldn't be bothered to bicker with a little girl. "Grandpa Ling, you were looking for me?" "Xiaochen, it's all thanks to you this time. If it wasn't for you, who knows what would have happened." Ling Tian was very pleased with his own decision. Before Xiaochen came, he had heard Qianyu talk about how amazing Xiaochen was. Although she said it with resentment, Ling Tian heard it clearly. "This is what I should do." Xiaochen paused for a moment and looked at Ling Tian. He believed that Ling Tian would understand what he meant. Indeed, Ling Tian said, "Qianyu, it's late. You should go and rest. I have some things to discuss with Xiaochen. I'm the one being kidnapped. Can't I just listen in?" Qianyu looked at Ling Tian unwillingly. "This involves some confidential matters. It's not good for you to participate." Ling Tian said seriously, "Listen to me." Oh. Qianyu didn't argue anymore. She nodded and walked into the room. This time, she didn't eavesdrop. After all, it was a habit that she had developed since she was young. She wouldn't listen if her grandfather didn't allow it. Xiaochen was also a little surprised. Through the surveillance array, he could see that Qianyu had gone to rest. She didn't eavesdrop like before. "All right, Xiaochen, you can speak now. Is the situation not looking good?" Ling Tian asked, "Is Qianyu still in danger?" "Qianyu isn't in any danger. The other party is someone I'm familiar with. They know that I'm here to protect Qianyu, so they gave up." Xiaochen said, "But now, they're targeting the research institute." "Oh? Someone you're familiar with?" Ling Tian was stunned. Could it be those people who attacked the research institute? "That's right, it's those people." Xiaochen nodded. It was done by the Sakura group and the people from the internal martial arts world. The reason why I left just now was to follow a female ninja from the Sakura group to their stronghold. "Oh? You followed them just now? And you've already found their stronghold?" Ling Tian looked at Xiaochen in surprise. "What's the situation like?" "The situation is what I said. I only know that there's a person called Young Master Xing in the internal martial arts world. As for which sect he's from, I'm not sure. I'm guessing that Yakashima Takeo, who's working with him, isn't very clear either. He only knows his background." "Is that so?" "Actually, even if we know which sect he's from, it's useless. After all, we're completely unfamiliar with the internal martial arts world." Ling Tian shook his head. "Are they going to give up on this place next? Could it be that they're lying to you on purpose?" "That's impossible. They didn't notice me at the beginning. Later on, they found some clues. By the time they came to find me, I was already gone." Xiaochen said, "If they knew that I was here, they wouldn't have told me such a secret." The people from the internal martial arts world seem to be afraid of being exposed and others finding out. "That's true. I heard that the internal martial arts world has rules. They can't casually appear in the secular world, so they're very cautious. Ling Tian said, that means that they're going to make a move on the research institute? Yes, but I'm not sure about the specifics. Whether they're going to use firearms or experts, we'll have to wait and see. Xiaochen said, however, I want little Wu and little Zhao to come back and protect Ling Qianyu. If there's any danger, I'll rush over immediately. I think it's better for me to stay in the research institute. You're right, I'll make the arrangements. Ling Tian nodded his head. If the other party really wanted to use the people from the internal martial arts world, then only Xiaochen, who was the strongest among them. No problem. Xiaochen replied, that's right, that female ninja is called Ling Qianxue. There's only one word difference between her and Ling Qianyu. Of course, the spelling might be different. Grandpa Ling, do you remember? I feel that this is too much of a coincidence. Ling Qianxue? Female ninja? Are you for real? Ling Tian was taken aback as he looked at Xiaochen. It's true. Xiaochen said. What does she look like? Ling Tian suddenly asked. Looks like. Grandpa Ling, could she really be related to Qianyu? Xiaochen was a little surprised. It shouldn't be, I'm just asking. Ling Tian shook his head. How do I put it? She's very beautiful, but I feel like I've seen her before. Xiaochen said. You mean, she's similar to Qianyu? Ling Tian asked. That's not it. Xiaochen shook his head. She seems to be similar to a desk mate of mine, but it's not the same. Maybe it's Shenyun. That doesn't seem to be it. Ling Tian fell into deep thought. Grandpa Ling? Xiaochen called out. There are some secrets that I can't say directly. I need to think about it. Although I'm the director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, this isn't just my family's business. Ling Tian said. What do you mean? Xiaochen was confused. Nothing, I've thought of something, but I'm not too sure. Ling Tian waved his hands. Alright, let's not talk about this. It's getting late, you should go back and rest. Chapter 8:14. Alright, then I'll take my leave, Grandpa Ling. Xiaochen saw that Ling Tian wasn't going to say anything, so he didn't pursue the matter. Even though he was curious, he still got up and left. Ling Tian closed his eyes and leaned back on the sofa. No one knew what he was thinking about. Xiaochen returned to his dormitory and began to cultivate. Even though he knew that the possibility of Ling Qianyu being attacked was very small, he still kept an eye on the place. Of course, he didn't know when young Master Xing would make a move on the research institute. At this moment, young Master Xing was on the phone with the elders of the sect. Little Xing, how's the progress on your side? There was a deep and dignified voice on the other side of the phone. It should be an important figure in the sect. Elder son, there's a bit of trouble here, it's like this. Young Master Xing didn't hide anything and told Elder Son everything. In that case, the sect master of the outer martial world's demon sect, Xiaochen, is involved? Then we really can't do anything to him. Elder Son clicked his tongue. Even though we wanted to kill him before, we can't be the ones to kill him. That's right, so I already told Yakushima Yukio not to have any conflict with Xiaochen. Since Xiaochen is protecting Ling Qianyu, then we can directly attack the research institute. There's no need to kidnap them. Young Master Xing said. Oh? You mean to rob the research institute directly? Hearing this, Elder Son's voice changed. That won't do. If we do it and the other sects find out, it will affect us too much. Yakushima Yukio definitely won't be able to handle it. That's what I thought before. I wanted us to do it, but now I've thought of a way to kill two birds with one stone. Young Master Xing said, actually, we can leak the news and let Xiaochen know. Then, Xiaochen will appear at the research institute. Then, we can do this. Oh. What you said is a good idea. But are you sure that you will be able to obtain it after this? Elder son asked in agreement. I'm not too sure about that. Even if we can't get our hands on it, the news has already been released. When the time comes, Xiaochen won't have time to worry about the research institute and Ling Qianyu. We can still get Yakushima Kikuo to kidnap him using the same method, Prince Xing said. What you said makes sense, then let's do it according to your idea. Elder son nodded. The sect will also help you spread the news. Thank you, Elder son. Young Master Xing didn't think that his suggestion would be approved by the elder. If this matter was successful, it would be a great merit. After hanging up the phone, young Master Xing started to make arrangements. He called Yorishima Kikuo again. Young Master Xing, you were looking for me? Nishima Kishio was a little puzzled. Young Master Xing had already gone upstairs to rest, so why was he called here again? He had no idea what was going on. It's like this. Do you have any way of letting Xiaochen know without him suspecting anything? Young Master Xing went straight to the point. Oh. This is a little difficult. Nishima Kishio was a little embarrassed. Seeing Nishima Kishio's expression, young Master Xing also knew that Nishima Kishio probably didn't have a good plan. After all, letting Xiaochen know about the news was easy. He could even tell him directly, but the key was that Xiaochen had to believe him. If Nishima Kishio told Xiaochen directly, not only would Xiaochen not believe him, he would definitely think that it was a trick to lure the tiger away from the mountain. He didn't know that Xiaochen had actually secretly heard that they were going to directly attack the research institute, so anyone who heard this would think that it was a lie. You think of a way to do this. If you do it well, our cooperation will be successful, but remember, you must make Xiaochen believe and not suspect anything, understand? Young Master Xing knew that if he didn't put some pressure on Nishima Kishio, he wouldn't rack his brains, so he directly pointed out that this was a cooperation. Really? Nishima Kishio didn't expect the cooperation to be so simple. As long as he released a piece of news that Xiaochen believed, the Sakura group could get the benefits they wanted. Yes. Young Master Xing nodded and said, but if Xiaochen doesn't believe it and doesn't appear, then the cooperation will be considered a failure. Nishima Kishio seemed to have made a difficult decision. He gritted his teeth and looked up. Well, is it okay to find a reason to make Xiaochen believe it? Yes, I can promise on behalf of the sect, young Master Xing said with certainty. Good. Nishima Kishio said, tell me what the news is, I will definitely pass it to Xiaochen, he will also believe it. The news is very simple, just say that we are going to rob the research institute, then let Xiaochen go to the research institute, young Master Xing said. Oh? Luring the tiger away from the mountain? Nishima Kishio subconsciously thought of this possibility. No, what I said is true. Young Master Xing waved his hand, I want Xiaochen to appear at the research institute, and I also want to rob the research institute, but you don't need to ask about the details, you just need to arrange this matter. Oh, okay. Nishima Kishio was very puzzled, he didn't know why young Master Xing would make such an arrangement, didn't he? What was the point of robbing? How could there be such a thing as a terrorist organization that wanted to carry out a terrorist attack? And even make a statement in advance. But since young Master Xing was so sure, Nishima Kishio naturally did as he was told. He went out of young Master Xing's room and looked for Ling Qianxue. Master Nishima, you are looking for me. Ling Qianxue thought that Nishima Kishio was going to punish her. Ling Qianxue, do you remember the day you became a ninja, the oath you made to the organization? Nishima Kishio suddenly asked. I will not give up, I will not betray, I will always be ready to sacrifice myself for the organization. Ling Qianxue immediately said solemnly, Master Nishima Kishio, if there is anything I can do for you, please let me know. If you know your identity and background, will you doubt the organization? Nishima Kishio asked. No, my identity is a ninja of the Sakura group, it doesn't matter what my previous identity is. Ling Qianxue said loudly. Very well, then I will tell you a secret now. Nishima Kishio lowered his voice and said, the Ling Qianyu that you wanted to kidnap is actually your sister. Huh? Ling Qianxue was stunned. Master Nishima. What do you mean? Your joke is not funny at all. Did I do something to make the organization unhappy? I am not joking. Nishima Kishio said seriously, your identity is actually the granddaughter of the director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, Ling Tian, and Ling Qianyu's biological sister. Master Nishima. You must be mistaken, my sister is not. Ling Qianxue was surprised and in disbelief. Your sister? Do you think it is Ling Qianxue? In order to prevent your sister from entering the Sakura group, you volunteered to enter the Sakura group in her place and used her name, Ling Qianxue, right? Nishima Kishio said. Ah. You know all this? Ling Qianxue's eyes widened in disbelief. Her parents were researchers working for the Cherry Blossom Group. According to the rules, either she or her younger sister must become a member of the organization. However, the Cherry Blossom Group wanted a younger sister who was 1 year younger than her and was not sensible yet. However, Ling Qianxue was afraid that her younger sister would suffer, so she disguised herself as her younger sister and joined the organization. Thus, the real younger sister became Ling Qianxue. In the organization, she still used the name Ling Qianxue to commemorate her identity, but the Sakura group didn't care about a name at all. She thought that she had done it flawlessly, but she didn't expect that the organization already knew about it. Of course we know. These were all arranged with our tacit consent. Otherwise, do you think you could pass through the layers of checks of the Sakura group? Nishima Kishio said lightly. Ah. Then. Why do I have something to do with Ling Qianyu? Ling Qianxue was a little puzzled. If Nishima Kishio said that the Sakura group knew about what she had done, she would believe it. But to say that she had something to do with Ling Qianyu, that was completely out of the question. Your sister Ling Qianxue's real sister is also a member of our Sakura group. We have already sent her to do something big, replacing the spot that originally belonged to you. Oh, I mean Ling Qianyu's sister, but I don't know the specifics. With my authority, I can't find out, but it was swapped when you were born. Nishima Kishio smiled faintly and said, I'm telling you this just to tell you the truth. After knowing the truth, you are still you, the outstanding ninja of the Sakura group, Ling Qianxue. Yes. Ling Qianxue quickly responded. Good. Nishima Kishio was very satisfied with Ling Qianxue's attitude, so he said, I don't blame you for failing your previous mission, but I will give you a new mission. I hope you can complete it. Yes, I will definitely complete it. Ling Qianxue said. Although the truth was a great shock to her, the idea of serving the Sakura group was deeply rooted in her mind, so she quickly got into the mood. Well, you go find Xiaofan now, and then tell him that we are going to deal with the research institute. It's best if you hint that he will personally oversee the research institute, then your mission will be completed, Nishima Kishio said. Tell Xiaofan. Why? Isn't this our real plan? If we tell him, won't that hinder our plan? Ling Qianxue asked with some confusion. This is Child Xing's instruction, I don't know, just do it, Nishima Kishio said. Then. What if Xiaofan doesn't believe me? Ling Qianxue felt that if she went to find Xiaofan for no reason, Xiaofan would definitely not believe her. Why would I tell you my identity? When the time comes, you can reveal your identity, how can Xiaofan not believe you? Nishima Kishio smiled and said, I don't need to say more about this, do I? When the time comes, you can verify your DNA or something else, you can decide for yourself. Chapter 8:15. Yes, I understand. Ling Qianxue stood up and quickly left the clubhouse. Although it was already May, the night wind was still a little cold. A gust of cold wind blew past, causing Ling Qianxue to involuntarily shiver. She was a little underdressed. The cold wind also made her mind a little clearer. Her passion for the Sakura group gradually cooled down. She couldn't help but think of Yasujima Yukio's words. She was actually Ling Qianyu's sister. Was this true? Then why did she kidnap her sister before? No, this was all for the organization, for the Sakura group. She was a ninja of the Sakura group, so she had to work for the Sakura group. Everything else was just fleeting clouds. No, didn't she enter the Sakura group for her young sister? What the Sakura group needed was an ignorant child to start training. For her sister, she replaced her. At least at that time, she already had some thoughts of her own. She came to the Sakura group for her sister. Then why was she doing this now? Her sister was no longer her biological sister, and Ling Qianyu was her biological sister? Ling Qianxue felt a headache coming on. Another gust of night wind blew past, and Ling Qianxue strengthened her confidence. Yes, she was an elite talent cultivated by the organization. She must be loyal to the organization. Shaking her head, Ling Qianxue decided to carry out the mission. She quickly flew in the direction of Lan City University. Standing at the door of the girls' dormitory, Ling Qianxue believed that if she appeared here, Xiaofan, who was monitoring not far away, would definitely find her, just like before. As a matter of fact, Xiaofan had indeed noticed her immediately. Although Ling Qianxue didn't go upstairs, such a strange target appeared at the door of the girls' dormitory in the middle of the night. The undercover agents who were monitoring below immediately notified Xiaofan. After receiving the news, Xiaofan immediately came to the door of the girls' dormitory. It was not easy for the undercover agents to appear, and most of them were no match for Ling Qianxue. What are you doing here again? Still not giving up? Xiaofan said curiously behind Ling Qianxue. Ah! You scared me to death. Ling Qianxue was shocked. Do you know that people can scare people to death? Why are you still wandering around here in the middle of the night? Xiaofan looked at her strangely. What are you doing here? I have something to talk to you about. Let's find a place with no one around. Ling Qianxue's tone was very urgent, as if there was something important. Okay, come to my dormitory, if you're not afraid that I'll rape you. As Xiaofan spoke, he turned and left. He wasn't afraid that Ling Qianxue wouldn't follow him. Since Ling Qianxue came here in the middle of the night, there must be something important. Humph, who's afraid of who? I'm just afraid that you don't dare. Ling Qianxue snorted and followed. Arriving at Xiaofan's dormitory, Ling Qianxue discovered that this place was far away from Ling Qianyu's dormitory. She couldn't help but tease, so you've been monitoring here every day. How? Binoculars? Or do my eyes have the ability to see through things? Xiaofan glared at Ling Qianxue. If you have something to say, say it. Don't say useless things. I want to tell you something. Ling Qianxue gritted her teeth. Her expression seemed to be struggling internally. In fact, she was also struggling. She didn't know how to choose. Although she was still partial to the Sakura group, unconsciously, she had some ideas of her own. In the past, she would listen to the Sakura group wholeheartedly. But now, she would think of her sister Ling Qianyu from time to time. Was she really her sister? Say it. Xiaofan said lightly. Lord Yidao and the people behind him are ready to directly attack the research institute. Ling Qianxue said as if she had made a great decision. Oh? Xiaofan was slightly stunned. He knew about this a long time ago. He had heard about it before, but why did Ling Qianxue tell him again? Even if Ling Qianxue didn't say it, Xiaofan had already prepared to go to the research institute to take charge. But saying it made him a little suspicious. Because you are here, Lord Yi Dao and the others won't do anything to Ling Qianyu anymore. So, you can go to the research institute without worry. There won't be any danger here. Ling Qianyu said. Why are you telling me this? Xiaofan looked at Ling Qianyu doubtfully. This should be your internal secret, right? If you didn't tell me, wouldn't it be easier for you to attack the research institute if I was here? That's true. But although I don't want to betray the organization, I don't want anything to happen to you. If the research institute is attacked, then Director Ling Tian will definitely be implicated. This is not what I want to see. Ling Qianyu said. What does this have to do with you? Xiaofan was even more confused. Because. Ling Qianyu took a deep breath. Ling Qianyu is my sister. I am Ling Tian's granddaughter. What? Xiaofan was so shocked that he almost jumped up. He had thought of many possibilities. For example, Lord Yi Dao and young Master Xing changed their minds and wanted to lure him away from the mountain to kidnap Ling Qianyu. Or maybe young Master Xing found out that Ling Qianyu had been tampered with and suspected that Xiaofan was the culprit. So, he sent Ling Qianyu to test him. But he never thought that Ling Qianyu was Ling Qianyu's sister. What was going on? A ninja from an island country and the granddaughter of the director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. How was it possible for them to have such a completely unrelated relationship? Yes, Ling Qianyu is my sister. Ling Qianyu said. Didn't you notice that our names are very similar? Ling Qianyu, are you stupid? Are you dreaming? Look at you, you look like a typical ninja. How could you be Ling Qianyu's sister? Did you eat too many stupid pills? Xiaofan's first thought was that Ling Qianyu was too ridiculous. Xiaofan, everything I said is the truth. If you don't believe me, you can bring me and Ling Qianyu for a DNA test. Ling Qianyu said with certainty. Wait, I'm a little confused. Is everything you said true? Xiaofan looked at Ling Qianyu in disbelief. Are you sure you're not joking with me? No. Ling Qianyu shook her head. Don't say anything else. I'll give Director Ling Tian a call. The thing you said is too important. I can't decide. Xiaofan slapped his forehead and took out his phone. He dialed Ling Tian's number. Xiaofan. Ling Tian picked up the phone. He hadn't left yet. He was still outside Ling Qianyu's dorm. Grandpa Ling, if you don't have anything to do, come over. I have something important to tell you. Xiaofan said. Oh? What is it? Ling Tian was a little confused. Xiaofan had just returned. Why was he looking for him again? Can't we talk over the phone? Let's talk when we meet. Some things are important. It can't be explained in a few words. Xiaofan said. Okay, I'll go now. Ling Tian nodded. Ling Qianyu sat on the sofa. Xiaofan didn't say anything, nor did he pay any attention to her. Instead, he quietly thought about the authenticity of this matter. Actually, if Ling Qianyu said that DNA could be verified, then this matter was probably true. But if it was true, then it was unbelievable. How did Ling Qianyu become a ninja? And how did she know about this? Did she betray him after knowing the news? Just a moment ago, she wanted to kidnap Ling Qianyu. Now, she came to report. The most suspicious thing was that Ling Qianyu kept calling him Master Yi Dao. If she really betrayed him, why did she still call him Master Yi Dao? She could just call him Big Idiot Yi Dao. Ling Qianyu saw that Xiaofan didn't say anything. She just sat there quietly. Not long after, there was a knock on the door. The door isn't locked. Xiaofan said. Ling Tian pushed the door open and walked in. When he saw Ling Qianxue sitting on the sofa, he was slightly surprised. Then, he looked at Xiaochen and said, "Xiaochen, you asked for me? Someone wants to come and meet you. This ninja, Ling Qianxue, says that she is your granddaughter and Ling Qianyu's sister. I don't dare to make a decision, so I called Grandpa Ling here. You can decide what to do." Xiaochen said straightforwardly. What? Ling Tian's body trembled as he turned his head to look at Ling Qianxue. However, after a single look, he could no longer shift his gaze away. Previously, when he saw Ling Qianxue, he already felt an indescribable emotion. Now that he heard Xiaochen's words, he felt more and more that she was like his own granddaughter, but if she was his granddaughter, then who was the other Ling Qianxue? "Grandpa, hello." Ling Qianxue stood up and bowed politely. This was completely a habit of Japanese women. "You said, you are Qianxue?" Ling Tian asked. "Yes, Grandpa, I am Ling Qianxue. I also just heard the news." Ling Qianxue said, "If you don't believe me, you can take me to do a DNA test." "Tell me, what happened?" Ling Tian took a deep breath. He didn't immediately take Ling Qianxue to the test. Instead, he asked. At this moment, his emotions had recovered a little, but his voice was still trembling. "I was eavesdropping on the conversation between Lord Yi Dao and the person behind him, and I heard this secret." Ling Qianxue told the story that she had prepared before. What she had experienced when she was a child was true, but the eavesdropping was fake. "So, you didn't know that you were swapped, and you always thought that you were Ling Qianxue from Japan?" Ling Tian asked after listening. "Yes, I always thought so. Today, I suddenly heard this news, and I was also very shocked. However, as a ninja, I can't betray the Sakura group. I don't want Grandpa and sister to be hurt, so I came here to let you prepare in advance." Ling Qianxue said. "To be honest, I was also very shocked when you suddenly said this news. Then, does Yorishima Kikuo know that you came out?" Ling Tian was now beginning to worry about Ling Qianxue's safety. You're tuning in to the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.